in partnership with SNOS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
After briefly reviewing several documents outlining his parents' dire financial circumstances today, 23-year-old Wesleyan University graduate Zach Wallace told reporters he had, quote, absolutely no clue how his mother and father are going to dig themselves out of the $35,000 of student loan debt they incurred to pay for his college education.
I mean, this is going to be really hard on my parents. When I was in college, I just assumed that, they would pay off my student loans within a few years of me graduating. But I never realized how expensive college is going to be for them.
Wallace, who graduated with a film studies degree in 2012 and has since had 2 unpaid internships, told reporters that from the way prevailing interest rates are trending, his parents could easily be paying off his debt for the next quarter century.
They're going to be paying for the rest of their lives. And on top of it all, they have to help me out with my rent, too. I mean, it sucks. It really, really sucks.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want here. Our toll-free number for you is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. What do you want to talk about? Well, it's up to you, though we do bring things to the table to discuss. Tonight, our Tuesday night crew is a little different than normal. With you tonight, it's Ian.
And Steven Zeiler.
And Derrick J.
Also known as the founders of Anypay. And we'll, of course, be talking about what's going on, the latest, some of the exciting plans behind the scenes and in front of the scenes over at Anypay coming up. But Derrick J., you actually appear to have I don't know if it's a strong opinion, but you have an opinion about this Trump impeachment. I honestly didn't know. I've been running around. We had a cryptocurrency meetup that we did today at Taco Biondo, so I paid no attention whatsoever to any news. But apparently they're trying to impeach Trump like for real this time.
The Emmys just happened, and there's all these people who win awards for the best television show, and really everyone knows this. They weren't nominated, but the Trump show is the best show on television. I've been watching every day since before the election. The run up to the election, and then it happened, and then every day has been a big news day with him, and I love watching it. I'm ashamed to admit it because I don't want to be wrapped up in this drama, and I think it's embarrassing. It's something that people should be ashamed to pay attention to, but I can't look away.
You can't pull away like a train
every
wreck.
time.
You've got to.
They pull me in.
It's a morbid fascination.
I'm on Twitter. I get the alerts every morning. I see what Trump is tweeting about, and I laugh. Like this morning, he said he pulled a clip of that Greta, that Swedish girl who yelled at the UN saying like, "We're upset that you're not doing enough for climate change." He said, "She seems like such a happy girl, so excited for her future." It was like, you can't really be mad at him for saying that. But it's pretty rude.
It's entertaining.
It's pretty rude to bash a little girl. But then today, he doesn't care. And I had to retweet it. I had to put the joke out. So then I hear I'm listening to Fox News on the way over, driving into the studio, and they're talking about impeachment is happening. He made some request about the Ukrainian prime minister investigating Joe Biden's son. Like, apparently he did something wrong, this Joe Biden's son guy. And
probably. I mean, he's son of a politician. There's a good chance.
Well, Trump is like, well, he made millions of dollars in the Ukraine and China, and he's not qualified, so how did he do that? And it's like raising all these questions about it. And he's like, well, I didn't ask him to do anything. It was a phone call. I was just congratulating the Ukraine prime minister on winning a landslide victory. Just a normal phone call. Congratulations. But the Democrats there was someone listening in on the phone call. I'm sure they listen in all the they listen on all the phone calls. And so someone raised the alarm and said, hey, I need to blow the whistle here. I'm not going to WikiLeaks. I'm not going to the other news outlets. I'm going to go through the procedures of being a whistleblower. And then make a documented report. And so the Democrats are like, here's our chance, right? we got him. There's some whistleblower. He said something on the phone, and we're going to get him. So they're going for these impeachment hearings. I think Trump, this is total speculation, but I think he really wanted this to happen and was trying to get, or maybe even put the person there to be a whistleblower so that they start chasing after this false story, another false story. After you heard the Mueller report, everyone was disappointed. They thought they had him,
yeah.
And then it was a nothing burger. Well, here they are right before the election. They're getting all excited, and then they're what's a I don't have a polite term for it, so I won't say it. But they're getting really excited about doing something, yeah, and I think that they're going to fall flat on their face because he's like, I'll release the transcripts tomorrow. You'll have the whole transcripts of the phone call. So here they are wasting all their energy on this impeachment, and then it's going to blow up in their face. And meanwhile, the whole thing is that they think that Trump was trying to get the Ukrainian president or prime minister or whatever to investigate Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son. Okay, now that's out in the news, so he doesn't even need to investigate it. Reddit's going to go do it. Like whoever hears this story is going to do their own investigation about it. So he gets everything he wants, and the Democrats get it blown up in their faces.
Well, like even if they got the impeachment, let's say their dream comes true and they manage to pull it off. They've impeached Donald Trump, and then they remove him from office because one thing doesn't necessarily happen after the other.
No,
right?
I don't think it has to happen. You could just impeach someone. It says they did wrongdoing. Yeah, they could stay.
But let's say they remove him from office, like they get the ultimate.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now you get Mike Pence as president. I mean, what is this a prize? Is this what people actually want? I mean, he's arguably even worse.
Definitely
Donald
worse.
Trump.
But I think he wouldn't win the next election, right? Or supposedly he could
Trump
run
could
again.
Still win the next election.
Still win. It's just great. So I don't know. I was laughing the whole way over, thinking, did he orchestrate this? Because it seems like he can't lose.
He's playing with them or something. I don't know.
They joke about this 4D chess thing, and I don't want to believe it. But hearing these stories, I just think it's too coincidental.
Well,
so that's the story.
I'm glad you have an opinion about it. Like my opinion is like, okay, well, whoopee-doo. If they impeach him, then we get a really worse guy in office. If they remove him from office, that is. And I tend to agree with you. I don't think they're going to succeed at what they're trying to accomplish.
No, they're going to look like fools.
Yeah.
They're off on some other planet.
Well, I mean, they are trying to appeal to their base, right? So from their perspective, if they move in this direction, at least they can say they tried.
Oh, it's definitely what people want.
Yeah.
The Democrats, or even people who aren't Democrats or independent who hate Trump, definitely want impeachment hearings. They want to drag him through the mud and see him have a really bad time. But it seems like he's just having too much fun with it.
Right. What can you do to this guy? He doesn't care what you think about him.
No.
So, I mean, he's not looking to parlay the presidency into a lifetime of a speaking tour like, a Clinton or a Bush or one of these other characters would do. Trump is going to be fine when he walks out of the office. He doesn't need whatever they have to give him.
No. So the best thing that could happen is that he loses his job and has to live in Mar-a-Lago and, go party around the world with his piles of money.
So if you want to comment on that, you're welcome to join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. By the way, Derrick, you're already getting tipped in our chat room here tonight.
Cool.
The crypto tip bot is being utilized by our people in the Discord chat, which we talked about.
What did he get?
How much
BTC?
should I get?
Some BTC, about $1 worth.
Wow. It only cost me $1 to receive it, right?
I don't know if the fees are that bad right now on BTC, but
I don't know.
You could get it
I paid a normal fee yesterday that was 27 cents.
That's what I've been seeing, about 20-ish, 20, 30 cents. So we can talk crypto, we can talk the news, whatever you want to discuss can go here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. I mean, Stephen, you're pretty quiet during all that Trump chatter. What does it say to you? What does it mean to you?
Oh, the Trump chatter, what my brain was thinking was like, these people don't matter.
No.
And that like the people who matter are running Oracle and Amazon and
the technocracy, as they're called.
That's right. Yeah, they're on the West Coast. And those are the ones that really matter. And that are making the future.
I totally acknowledge that. They're the real heroes. This is a drama show. This is just my favorite TV show.
Well,
this is
now
what's happening.
Trump can stand in the way, and the government goons can stand in the way of the people who are productive, right? Like they can pass tariffs
really.
and raise prices artificially.
The way that they stand in the way the most is by getting you to pay attention to them, because then you're not doing real things.
You're busying yourself with them.
It's a television show, you know.
Yeah.
It's and then if you talk about it, it's like it's not very different from people always talking about like Lost, or they're talking about the Game of Thrones.
You're right about that. The difference, though, is the people who make Lost and Game of Thrones are never going to stand in your way and point a gun at you and say you have to watch their television show. Now, Trump can't make you watch his show, but they can certainly stand in your way and get involved in your business and try to stop you from doing the things that you're doing. And that's the key difference between them. I mean, you're not wrong and I agree with you that people shouldn't spend their time, an inordinate amount of time, paying attention to these things.
That's a difference between them, but can you win their game if you play it? Or should you play a different game altogether?
I tend to agree. You should focus your energies on things that can make life better for you and the people that you care about, and that's usually not, in any case, politics. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. You can join us on the radio. This is Free Talk Live. What's on your mind tonight?
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com. I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
While getting drinks after work with a group of coworkers, local shipping clerk Russell Chambliss told reporters Wednesday night he was unsure whether he was bonding with his male associates or being mercilessly bullied by them.
I'm pretty sure that Bill called me limp dick earlier, and Todd keeps punching me in the shoulder. Pretty hard, too. I can't tell if it's their way of letting me feel like I'm part of the group or making me feel bad about myself.
Chambliss said while his coworkers verbally demeaned him and even made him feel physically threatened at various points in the evening, they did so with large smiles on their faces, making it extremely unclear if his coworkers enjoyed his company or wanted him to leave the bar.
Well, I told Jeff about this problem that I was having with my girlfriend, and he called me a pussy and then walked away. But then, like 5 minutes later, he came back with a beer that he had bought for me. What does that even mean? Apparently I'm invited over to Todd's house for dinner this weekend. I guess that'll be fun.
For more on this story, keep checking theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial in toll free and bring up whatever you want. Our number here, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Maybe you've heard of KrisAnne Hall. She's a former Florida attorney who was fired after teaching the Constitution. Even though she was ordered not to by her boss, State Attorney Skip Jarvis, she would not stop teaching her class and stood up for liberty over receiving her paycheck. Free Talk Live is going to be hosting a free webinar with KrisAnne Hall on Tuesday. I don't know which Tuesday because they didn't say here. I think it may be today at lfu.freetalklive.com. I will check on that. KrisAnne is a disabled veteran of the U.S. Army, a Russian linguist, a mother, and a patriot. She now travels the country and teaches the Constitution and the history that gave us our founding documents. KrisAnne Hall doesn't just teach the Constitution, she lays the foundations that show how reliable and relevant our founding documents are today. She presents the genealogy of the Constitution, the 700-year history and foundational documents that are the very roots of American liberty. Her belief is you can't properly understand or interpret the Constitution without a firm grasp of its very foundation. To learn more about Liberty First University and all of the details of the free webinar, you can visit LFU, like Liberty First University, .freetalklive.com. That's LFU.freetalklive.com. As we continue here, it's Ian and Stephen and Derrick here in our studio. And yeah, apparently I got the date wrong. They meant by Tuesday, they meant October 1st. So that would be this coming Tuesday for Liberty First University. LFU.freetalklive.com. Let's go to the phones and to your calls and thoughts. And then coming up, we'll talk about a conflict with ICE regarding computer programmers. We'll get into that. Derrick J., you've got the story. But first, Olivia is in Arizona, and you're on Free Talk Live, watching us on YouTube. Go ahead, Olivia.
Hey, Ian, hey, Derrick, hey, Stephen.
Hey.
Hello.
I had a question for Derrick J. It's pretty exciting to see you on the air. How did you cope with going to jail? Because that's such a dehumanizing experience. You know, like how do you survive?
Did you go to jail?
I have not been to jail, but honestly, it's one of my deepest fears. So it's like, what would happen to your pets? What would happen to, like, what happens to you in there? Just the thought of, like, being strip searched makes me break out in, like, chills.
Yeah. Wow, that's an interesting question. Why is it on your mind? I mean, I'm happy to answer it, but I'm curious about the context.
Nobody really talks about it. And I mean, I know so many people who've been, and it's almost like going to war. When people come back, they just don't want to talk about it. And it's like, if that were to happen to me, like if that were to happen to any of us, that could happen to any of us. Like, where do you even start to even cope mentally, much less like with all your stuff that you're leaving behind?
So just for our listeners that may not be aware, I presume, Olivia, you're well aware that Derrick J. Went on a victimless crime spree years ago now, almost a decade at this point. And we made a movie out of it, and you faced almost 540 days in jail over these various different charges surrounding these victimless crime arrests, and you ended up spending roughly 2 months, I think it was, behind bars in what we call the Keene Spiritual Retreat, which is the county jail here in Cheshire County, New Hampshire. So with that sort of background, how was jail?
Yeah, well, Ian, you would know. You've been to jail a few times, and you have a really good attitude about it. Now, that helped. Being in and around people who had been through jail and come out okay made it easier for me. But I remember, it's such a distant memory now, but I remember telling people when they asked me when it was fresh, I told them that it was the worst experience of my life. I don't mean to exaggerate or be hyperbolic, but I value freedom a lot. It's like my number one obsession. And so being locked in a concrete cage every day
and strip searched.
Yeah, it was really dehumanizing. Because you have to, I don't know what I can say on radio, but I'll be as clean as I can, but you have to open all the different parts of your body that might be visible.
Could conceal.
Yeah. And every day to some guy. And it's really uncomfortable. And it's sad. It's lonely. And you're there and alone, and that's, I guess, the point of it is they want to make it really awful, so that people don't want to go there. I guess that's the point. I don't really know exactly, but I don't know. Does that give you some insight?
Yeah, it kind of confirms my worst fears. Like, I mean, you feel so disposable. You feel like dirty. Everyone's looking down on you. But like, what did you do to feel better in such a bad situation? Like, did you write a lot? Did you make friends? Like, are people in there okay?
Yeah, I did make some friends, and one thing that helped me keep my chin up is I have a pretty good attitude about life generally already, so that helped. But then another thing that I think is like a good life hack that you can use even in your life outside of jail is just keeping yourself clean. For me, was a steam booster. So I would, during the certain time when I was allowed to have a razor for shaving my face, I would also cut my hair a little bit and like trim it up, make it look a little nicer. I would shave my face every day. And always brush my teeth and take as good care of my hygiene as I possibly could. And that made me feel good. You look good, you feel good. I did roll up my sleeves and try and be more fashionable. I was told I wasn't allowed to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow, I didn't know that story.
It's a little bit about conformity. And I was fortunate enough because of my good behavior to work in the kitchen. And that was a really good gig if you are in jail and listening to this somehow, because we did have radios. I did dance around. I had enough on my commissary to buy a radio. They charged $40 for
a
this
crappy
radio.
little $7 radio.
Yeah,
or whatever.
but it was got to be my most valuable possession besides the pen and paper. I did write. I used to blog, and actually, I think you can see all of my blog posts were posted. I would write about my day, like do journaling, and then send them out to a friend who would type them up and post them onto freekeen.com. And also, I've got them on my website, thederrickj.com. So you can read, there's, I think, a link that says like jail letters.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can read what was on my mind back when I was in jail every day.
Yeah, I thought those were really, and it wasn't just you who did that from jail.
No.
Rich Paul, now
Mail
known
to
as
jail.
Nobody, did that. I did it while I was in jail, and yeah, thank goodness for Mail to Jail that was in existence at that time.
It got me in trouble, though. I remember I wrote about some of the guards, and they read the things that were getting posted on the blog post.
That's right. I remember you writing about that.
I got some yelling at for some of the things that I wrote about them.
Olivia, if you have more questions, you can
They yell
say.
at you.
If you're answered, then thank you for the call tonight. So I'll let you make that.
I'd
call.
like to ask a few more.
Okay, hang on. 855-450 free. It's not a topic we cover very often, so we
No.
might as well get into it here. My radio was actually contraband. I traded some batteries and got somebody's radio, a used radio. You're not supposed to do that.
Oh.
Yeah, there's more coming up here in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
You can be the smartest person in the room on the topic of the Constitution if you attend this free webinar. Liberty First University is online training on the principles of liberty and the origin, proper application, and defense of our founding documents and the principles they contain. You will receive an education worthy of the highest institutions of learning as if the founders were teaching it. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com for more details and your exclusive invitation to the free webinar on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Register now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Divvy is crypto made easy. Anyone can use Divvy to securely and seamlessly spend, earn, store, or exchange digital money, the US dollar, and euros. Divvy is fast, transactions happen in seconds with fewer fees. While other tokens are languishing, the Divvy token price has increased 300%. Now's the time to make the switch to Divvy, or make your start with cryptocurrency with Divvy. Visit DivvyProject.org. Divvy is crypto made easy. Plus one-click masternodes. DivvyProject.org. Again, DivvyProject.org.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm gonna tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm gonna tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. It's also where the new tip bot is hanging out, and super easy to use, super cool. Might be a big exit scam. We have no idea, but it has been bringing a high level of fun to the chat rooms, allowing people to tip one another, tip your favorite hosts. I think you've gotten a couple of tips at least already.
Yeah.
Derrick J. And it's super easy to use it. So give it a shot over at discord.lrn.fm. The bot is called tip.cc.
Fun what you can do with digital money.
I love it. I love it. It's so
Programmable
cool.
money.
Yeah, programmable money.
And we're going to talk more about that coming up as well. In fact, plus programmers are in a bit of a spat with ICE. Derrick J., you've got that story coming up. But actually, we've got phone calls like crazy for a weeknight. So we're going to keep going. In fact, we were talking with Olivia. We're going to get right back to Olivia's call about what it's like in jail. She says she's got a big fear of, having her freedom taken away, being put into a cage, and that's understandable. I think most people have that fear. Is it as bad as, it's made out to be, for instance, on television? We'll get into that. The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. Also, want to make sure you know about local.bitcoin.com. That is where you can go to begin buying and selling Bitcoin Cash on a global marketplace for dozens of payment methods. Some of them higher risk than others, especially if you're a seller. So do some due diligence, do some research before you get started as a seller over there. Buyers, you're more protected, but even still as a buyer, you do need to be dealing with preferably sellers who know what they're doing and have some experience under their belts. So get on over to local.bitcoin.com. Important difference between local.bitcoin.com and other sites like it is they don't hold your funds. So therefore, they don't need to know who you are. The site is essentially anonymous. There's no identification required to sign up. And they've encrypted communications between buyers and sellers. So the communications you're having about the trades that you're making are not viewable even by the administrators of the website unless you opt in to have them come, let's say resolve a dispute. So it's up to you to let somebody see what you're talking about there. Go to local.bitcoin.com. and get started there. Let's go to Olivia, or rather back to Olivia. She's watching on YouTube, and of course we are on various different video streaming platforms. YouTube is one of them over at youtube.freetalklive.com. But Olivia, so you were asking about Derrick J's time in jail. He spent about 2 months for a variety of civilly disobedient, non-cooperative, victimless crime charges, and there's a movie you can watch about it. It's called Victimless Crime Spree. Actually just, I think 9 days ago, celebrated its 7th theatrical anniversary for the theatrical release that we had here back in 2012. So it's it's a big month for Derrick J's Victimless Crime Spree. And
the best part was when one of the villains showed up. It would have been nice to see the judge come by, but one of the cops who arrested me a couple of times came to the premiere.
He drove to the premiere and didn't actually get out of his cruiser.
I think he did exactly the right thing.
Yeah.
That was exactly the villain move.
Yeah.
Show up in the cop car. It was really a nice hat tip.
Yeah. So, and that guy still works on the Keene Police Squad. So sometimes you'll still see the same characters around town, although Judge Burke is mostly retired at this point. And honestly, the replacement for him is a step up. Like she's a little bit better, not as likely to fly off the handle from what I've seen, and seems to treat people with a little bit more respect. But anyway, Olivia, you were asking about what time was like in jail, and Derrick J., you described it as the worst time of your life.
That's what I said when I got out, and it's weird to hear myself say it now because it's been so much time that it's hard to kind of remember where my head was at. I was just looking during the break for my notes on like blog posts that I did. I wasn't able to find them, but I know they're out there somewhere, so I'll get people pointed to those.
Well, of course, you can go to freekeen.com and search for like Derrick
jail,
I think, something like that, and you'll find those. But it could have been a lot worse, right? Because you were in the Keene Spiritual Retreat, which by no means is, let's say, New Orleans or Baltimore or New York City or one of these places which is much larger. The bureaucrats there are much more anonymous than they are here, and very dangerous places.
I did have a cellmate at one time who was a really bad dude. And
like dangerous to you?
Dangerous to me, yeah. He threatened me during one of the lunch times when they aren't like watching so closely during lunch.
Why did he threaten you?
I moved some papers. This like punk kid, I guess in jail it's sort of like school. And so there's this like beta male guy, and he's like easy to pick on. And he had the paper every day sent to him as like something he ordered as part of his mail. And this other guy who's like a punk alpha type guy said that he wanted them, and he took them, and then they were in our cell, and the guy was sleeping. Well, the beta wanted them back, and I was like, I'll get them for you. You know, they're right there.
Right.
But this guy got very upset with me for taking the papers. Well, I wasn't choosing sides. I was giving back the guy's property.
paper,
that belonged to him. But I didn't realize what I was doing, entering into some sort of political thing. So
yeah,
it was really scary. I cried. I was in the corner of the like.
What did he
ball
say
area
to
thing.
you? He threatened you.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. I wrote about it, but it was like he was like wanted to fight.
Wow.
He thought, this is how he works things out in his life, but I don't play like that. So I just backed down and was really terrified.
And then you had to sleep in the same cell with this guy.
Yeah.
For some amount of nights.
Yeah, I wrote to the jail about it and was like, I really need a different cellmate.
Mm-hmm. And did they switch it out?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That may not have happened at every jail, like as far as the response is concerned.
I think the guards cared.
Yeah. The impression I got from the Keene Spiritual Retreat guards was that they were mostly decent. There were some exceptions where you could tell they were kind of the power monger.
Right. Yeah, there
type.
were some of those.
Yeah, but they weren't in the majority, and I would say they were a minority of the guards.
I think so. A lot of them are members of law enforcement against prohibition. But
that's
anyway,
true. But that has to do with that's a specific thing specific to that jail because the warden or the superintendent of the jail, Rick Van Wickler, I believe he recently held the chairman position at Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, which is now actually rebranded to Law Enforcement Action Partnership, and they've I don't know if you're familiar with this, but they've expanded their scope. They're no longer just against prohibition. They're still against prohibition, but they're also now against like police militarization as well.
That's wonderful.
So they've really kind of done a positive
good.
move.
Well, I want to know what Olivia has to say.
Yeah, go ahead, Olivia. We've been just kind of recounting our experiences here.
Wow, no, that's awesome. That's really interesting. I'm kind of shocked that there's police who are actually against prohibition and police militarization as well. I'm like, what world is this? That's amazing. But I did also want to know, like, what we can do to help prisoners, because I was shocked. Somebody I went to high school went to jail, and then a son of a friend went to jail, and I was going to go visit them in jail. And when I got there, they're like, well, they only get like 2 or 3 visits a week. And I was like, well, I don't want to go take a visit away from their family or something. Right. So that was an eye-opener as well. Just like everything that they could possibly ruin, they've found a way to ruin. Like even the fellow prisoners in a lot of places, like they let them do the torture that the state's not allowed to do. It's scary. But, the only thing I could think of is maybe like, those magazine subscriptions where you can buy one, get one free, sending those to a prisoner. I've done that before.
Cool.
But if you have any ideas
anything that
won't lead to retaliation would be great.
Sure. And I think you've touched on something that's a pretty good one. And Olivia, thank you for the call. We'll discuss that. The idea of sending things to people in jail is an obvious thing that you can do to help, and whether you know the person or not doesn't matter. So we just talked to Lynn Ulbricht this weekend, of course, about her son Ross, who's in prison for a double life sentence plus 40 years for programming a website called The Silk Road. And even if you've never met Ross before, you can better believe he would appreciate a letter from you. And his mailing address is over at freeross.org. Of course, you can also find out who's in your local jail and send things to them. You could send crossword puzzles or subscriptions, like you said, to magazines, that kind of thing. So those are some things you can do. Some jails have programs that you can get involved in as well, where you could, if you teach yoga or you're a preacher or something like that, they have ways for you to get involved. Other jails may not. Well, there's more coming up here. This is Free Talk Live.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com. Or to speak with a trained consultant. Give Angioprim a call at 954-882-7221. That's 954-882-7221.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Yep, it's Free Talk Live, and you can join us right here. Our toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. They sound way better than the regular phone lines, but we'll still take your old-school phone calls. You're still welcome to call that way. In fact, it's actually been a pretty busy night here so far tonight on the phones. We're going to continue taking your calls. And then coming up, the ICE, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement versus some programmers. Derrick J's got that story. We're going to talk about that. Plus, of course, we're going to talk about whatever's going on with Anypay, which, of course, I'm always excited about. You guys are doing something cool over there at all times. And with you tonight, you've got Ian.
And Steven.
And Derrick J. I wasn't sure if you were going to say Steven Zeiler. Isn't that your full name?
Steven Zeiler.
You go by Steven Zeiler, right?
I was just giving you an opportunity to say it a few times.
Okay.
We go to the phones here, where we've got Daniel on the line in Pennsylvania listening to LRN.FM. Go ahead, Daniel.
Hey, so I had a question for Eric.
You mean Derrick. Derrick J.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you're in jail, did you get fucked in the
No,
ass?
you can't say that on the radio, sir. Can't say that on the radio.
But it's a great question.
He wishes.
So he was asking whether or not you were having a sexual interaction with other inmates.
Yeah, no.
A submissive sexual interaction.
Sure, that's true. That's what he said.
Yeah, not necessarily. But
No,
I don't want to get into
it
it.
is necessarily what he said.
Well, anyway, no.
You were in. You are a gay
is
man,
no.
by the way, for those who aren't aware, and you were in a cell with other men, and they didn't segregate you due to your sexual proclivities.
Yeah. Although recently I stopped saying I'm a gay man.
Okay.
I say I'm a guy. I have sex with other guys.
Okay,
you
you're
know,
a guy.
That's
Okay.
Whatever. But I did try. This is something else that I wrote about. If people are actually interested in knowing what it's like to go to jail, and you could read other people's journals from jail, but I wrote one, and I was trying to get laid. Like I was an active effort, and it was tough because it was maximum security.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like in some prisons, you have more privacy, and that's where people can get beat up and it can get bad. But I was trying to have some privacy for other reasons, and. Nah, I couldn't do it. I tried.
Just because the other people weren't interested?
Yeah, and no one was trying to rape me.
Right.
There was, no, nothing.
I never
like that
heard anything
going on.
about that happening at the Keene Spiritual
Well,
Retreat.
were you able to get a loan to yourself?
Yeah, not really.
Like, how do you do that?
You can't.
You
don't
can
have
be
any,
alone if you don't have a cellmate.
Yeah, but I had a cellmate the whole time.
Fortunately, I did not have a cellmate the whole time. But it's nice when you don't have anybody else in there, and then you get the
Did you ever
bathroom all to
catch your
yourself.
cellmate like doing something?
I'm sure he
did
caught
not.
me doing something. I mean, how can you not? I try to be as quiet as I can be. And also about going to the bathroom, that's the worst part because your bed, the place where you rest your head
It's
and
right
you're
next
sleeping
to
is
it.
right next to a toilet
Yeah.
that's just open. There's not even water in these toilets, right? They're just air sort of things. Like
I forget.
They flush with air.
No,
there's
there's a water flush, but
But there's not like water sitting in there.
I
is
think
the thing.
you're right about that. Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable and it seems unsanitary.
It's not the most sanitary place, that's for sure. Especially like the bathrooms or whatever. Who knows what's going on?
I mean, what a different world to step into. It's like, jails. They probably haven't changed much in thousands of years. It's a cage.
It's an institution. I mean, these things are known for not changing. I mean, this particular jail changed while we were here. It moved. So there was an old jail in a town called Westmoreland, which is like 20 minutes, 25 minutes to the west of Keene, and they moved the jail into Keene. And there was all this hubbub over, the jail's going to be in Keene, all the bad people. It's going to be up on a hill. It's going to be visible by people driving by. And there was all these people who were against it. Actually, I'm glad that it moved to Keene. It became more convenient for us, even though they did crack down on the protests that we were having at the jail.
That was a thing that really cheered me up. It cheered up the whole jail when people would visit and wave and have flags and signs
Were you
outside.
in the old jail? You weren't in the old jail.
No, I was in the new one, but still you were able to see people from the road.
Right.
And everyone would pile into other people's rooms, and you weren't supposed to do that.
Right.
But the guards would sometimes look the other way, or they didn't notice that people were going into other people's rooms so that they could look through the window and see
the
other
protest.
people just, cheering us on.
Which we did quite a bit.
Made them feel good.
There. So, I mean, there's all kinds of stories. We had an interesting kind of recap of sort of how we're feeling nowadays versus back then. And again, this was back in 2011, I think was 2010, 2011, down in that time frame. The movie's over at victimlesscrimespree.com, and the 5-year retrospective that we did, where we showed the movie out in Portsmouth, where you guys live, at the theater there that takes cryptocurrency, the Seacoast Repertory Theater. And we showed the movie, and then we had like a Q&A session afterwards where you did a little bit of reflecting.
Yeah.
On that. And that's on video, so you can watch that over at victimlesscrimespree.com. As we go back to your calls and thoughts, Devin is in Alaska watching on YouTube. Go ahead, Devin.
Hi.
Hi. You're on the air.
How you guys doing?
Good. Go ahead.
I was wondering what your opinion was on this new e-cig flavored ban.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's ridiculous.
I think that
What's your
one
reasoning
flavor
for
is
thinking
enough.
so?
Should we just agree on one flavor?
You're trolling.
It's like
don't believe
deodorant.
that.
No, it's more
It's not
it's
about
more
the
efficient
flavors, is it?
economically that way. If we all just choose one, then there only needs to be one factory.
That sounds like something a communist would say.
I'm a little behind.
It's like deodorant. You only need one manufacturer.
What are we talking about?
The e-cig ban.
But
Devin?
I want to lick it because that's
I don't know what you're going to say, but I'm just going to hit the dumb button anyway because I wasn't sure.
Okay.
What is there anyone in the world who doesn't think that's stupid? Does everyone think, oh yeah, it should be banned?
Well, not everyone.
Do you think most people think that this ban is good?
Well, look at the way the media is representing it. I mean, there's this story here from the Boston Globe that I thought I had pulled up here, but apparently it actually hasn't pulled up the story. There it is. Just the first sentence of this story.
Mm-hmm.
Facing an explosion of vaping-related illnesses. An explosion.
There were 5.
All of right. Like now it's up to 9, and this is over a time frame. This isn't like in the last 2 weeks or something like that.
Also, they're related.
Right. Vaping related, which can mean a whole bunch of different things. Sort of like how an alcohol-related car crash can mean having a bottle of Jim Beam in the back seat that was closed that nobody was drinking from, or having a passenger who was drunk during the car crash. So we don't even know what it means when they say vaping related. But the explosion of vaping related illnesses, it makes it sound like all of a sudden there's all these problems with this thing that people thought was so safe. And the fact is, the numbers say it is still so safe. We're talking about a fraction of the amount of people that are dying and getting lung disease from smoking cigarettes here. And it's over time. It's vaping related, and it's over time. We're not talking about the last week. There's not been an explosion. What there's been an explosion in is news media coverage, this sort of exasperated coverage of all the dangers surrounding vaping. So that's what he was talking about.
Okay.
Before he got silly.
It's weird. I don't know. Doesn't it just strike you as odd? There's something off about the way this is happening. It doesn't seem like a natural progression of like, oh, well, there were these things and then there was an uproar. It seems like a manufactured top-down
It definitely is.
thing.
I think my intuition is that the cigarette manufacturers got some regulation.
I did hear that
through recently, and now this is all like they have the plan all out. There's the media, there's the regulation thing, and then
this is part of their rollout, you're saying. So this is kind of like conspiracy-ish, but it sounds like they did get a smokeless tobacco patent or something that they just got approved for Altria and Philip Morris, which are like the largest cigarette companies in the
Altria, by the way, bought 30-something% of Juul, which is the big vaping brand.
Would the state really be doing anything that wasn't for special interests? Like,
no, of course it's doing something for special interests. And so the theory is what they'll do is they'll ban the vaping products, and then the FDA will come up with a process. Oh, well, once you go through our process
just
and pay all the
to be
fees.
that Marlboro already went through the process.
They probably are helping design the process, would be my guess. But once you've gone through our process and you've paid all the fees and jumped through all the hoops, well, then we'll go ahead and put our tax stamp on it. Yeah, then it's okay to sell. And then Walmart will take the FDA-approved vaping products and start selling them. Because Walmart recently announced they would stop selling vaping products after they sold out of their existing inventory, of course.
Yeah. Well, people probably, not that I don't want to excuse what the government's doing or anything, but people probably shouldn't be vaping anyway.
Toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE, like freedom. Well, that may be true, but it is absolutely something that's helping people quit smoking. And one of the reasons why is because they've got tasty flavors, and people like that stuff. Yeah. And they're trying to take that away.
I get that.
More on the way,
855. Ride motorcycles either.
450-FREE.
Yeah.
Hour 2's next. It's Free Talk Live. You can join us.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I really haven't been sick. People in my house come down with whatever's going around, but it passes me by, and I just take a couple of more, just in case. But I really haven't been sick since I started taking them, And my energy level is a lot better. I'm walking around, and I can do 5 miles a day. Oh, I'll tell you, I'm a firm believer in it, don't mess with success.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Receive 25% off your first preferred purchase of Balance of Nature. Plus, get a set of convenient travel bottles containing a free additional week's supply of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. With these discounts, you will still receive free shipping on every order. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FREETALKLIVE.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,532, silver at $18.61, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,551. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, in mid-2019, Hawaii became the 26th state to decriminalize small amounts of marijuana. After the bill became law, Hawaii's governor cautioned that decriminalizing the herb does not mean the state is prepared to legalize recreational use of cannabis. Under the new law, people caught with marijuana will no longer face a misdemeanor charge that had been punishable by up to 30 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. Now, people caught carrying 3 grams or less can still be slapped with a citation, carrying a $130 fine, but no jail time. Hawaii's Democrat-controlled legislature approved the bill and then sent it to the governor. The governor, in May, neither signed it nor vetoed it. As a result, the bill became law and will go into effect January 11, 2020. The Marijuana Policy Project said, quote, "Unfortunately, 3 grams would be the smallest amount of any state that has decriminalized or legalized simple possession of marijuana." End quote. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A police officer in Florida is facing suspension after arresting 2 young 6-year-old children as the Orlando Police Department investigates the incidents, which raise fresh questions about the over-policing of school children in the United States, as well as the arresting officer's own violent past and record of excessive force. The Mind Unleashed reports that Orlando police officer Dennis Turner was on duty as a school resource officer when he arrested the children in separate incidents on misdemeanor charges on Thursday. Local news outlet WFLA reported that the 6-year-old girl was charged with battery after kicking a classmate at her K-5 school, a problem that her grandmother attributed to behavioral issues related to sleep apnea. Following her arrest, the first grader was booked into a local juvenile detention center 8 miles from the incident. According to the child's grandmother, her granddaughter was handcuffed, fingerprinted, and even had her mugshot taken. The events surrounding the Storm Area 51 meme, which went viral over the summer, appear to have been little more than hot air and social media buzz, as a few hundred alien enthusiasts and revelers partied near the secretive U.S. military base in a largely uneventful manner. Yet, despite the wholly innocuous nature of the Storm Area 51 phenomenon, the Mind Unleashed reports the U.S. government doubled down on its menacing posture this past weekend, in a bizarre tweet promising deadly force toward millennials who might raid the site. In a tweet Friday by the Defense Visual Information Distribution Service, a Pentagon public relations agency, the unit shared a photo of a B-2 stealth bomber, accompanied by the ominous caption, quote, "The last thing millennials will see if they attempt the Area 51 raid today." The message has since been deleted, and the department issued a tweet the next day, calling the tweet inappropriate and saying they apologize for the mistake. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
In a survey, nearly 100% of boys ages 12 to 15 report that they have sex all the time and are definitely not virgins. Teens say they've gone all the way on numerous occasions, including vaginal sex, oral sex, and regular sex orgies.
Previous studies suggested that most boys lose their virginity at 16 or 17. But when we gathered 13-year-olds in a room and asked them if they'd had sex, they not only said yes, but they also were clear that sex was no big deal for them, that they weren't nervous before having it, and that when they do have sex, they do it for hours at a time.
And you discovered that these young teenagers have sex with nearly every attractive woman they know, including their babysitters, teachers, and even Hollywood celebrities.
10% of boys in junior high school say they received a blowjob from Katy Perry while they were on vacation in Los Angeles.
And what about teenage girls? Did your study find out anything new about their sexual habits?
We didn't talk to any teenage girls. The boys we surveyed told us not to because they'd probably just lie and deny it.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up whatever you want here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. That is where you can go if you want to sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. And tonight, in that studio, it's Ian.
And Steven Zeiler.
And Derrick J.
Coming up, Derrick J. is going to be telling us about an organization known as Chef. And I have never heard of this group until tonight, but apparently they are having it out with ICE to some extent. There's a disagreement with the Immigrations and Customs Enforcement bureaucracy.
It's a happy story. You're going to like this one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing it. That's coming up. Your calls and thoughts, though, come first. We're going back to the phones, to the fun. John Bush is on the line. Longtime listeners will certainly recognize his voice. Hey, John.
Hey, guys. How are y'all?
Hello, John.
I'm great.
Doing well. You're calling us from Austin.
Yes, the liberty capital of the country.
So what's on your mind tonight?
Well, I wanted to chat about Kratom. It's a all-natural plant remedy that's root grown in popularity, and it was recently banned up in Franklin, Hampshire. I'm sure y'all are familiar.
Really?
What?
I've never been to Franklin, but
they can't just ban Kratom.
Yeah.
Why? Was everyone getting addicted to this stuff?
Well, in 2016, the DEA tried to add it to Schedule 1 with this emergency process, and there was mass pushback because it's been so helpful for people to get off of opioids and prescription pain medicine and heroin, and it helps with stress and anxiety. It's really beneficial and really changes people's lives. And so when the government tried to make it a felony federally, there was like a huge uprising, and they awoke a sleeping giant. And it later turned out that it was actually the FDA who was pushing the DEA to ban it. And since they failed at the federal level, now they've taken to a strategy of just putting out total propaganda, press releases, and bogus studies, and they're going to states and local governments, counties and cities to try to ban it.
Wow.
So I think that's what happened there.
Come on.
Yeah, this is so this is something that these towns in New Hampshire will do from time to time. And we're here in Keene, which is sort of a lefty town on the southwest corner of New Hampshire. And they actually did something similar to this. They banned what they called the synthetic cannabis or the synthetic drugs that were kind of a craze several years ago. They banned it, and they basically did it against the law. So in New Hampshire, you're not supposed to be able, as a town or a city government, you're not supposed to be able to do things that have not been authorized by the state, meaning that it's what they call it's non-home rule. It is not home rule. They don't have the ability, supposedly, to do these things. So unless there's a state law saying that they can ban Kratom, if they opt to ban Kratom, they're not supposed to be able to do it. But in Keene's case, they just ignored what the state law said, and they went ahead and banned it anyway. And basically, the city attorney, when asked about it at the Keene City Council meeting, was like, yeah, it probably isn't going to hold up if somebody actually challenges the law. But they went ahead and banned it anyway.
To enforce it.
Yeah, and then the state ultimately did ban the synthetic drugs after that.
They're doing that in Portsmouth too, our town, with styrofoam and plastic bags.
They're banning plastic bags.
Yeah, they know they're not allowed to,
Right,
but they just
doing
keep
it
trying.
anyway.
Yeah. So, but what's with this Kratom stuff? Am I pronouncing it correctly? First of all, I don't want to sound stupid. Kratom?
Yeah,
Kratom?
some people say kratom. Some people, it's like the original way to say it was kratom, but I just say kratom.
I'm going to say kratom. So
do it.
So this, if we're playing devil's advocate, like, what are the arguments that people make?
It's addictive
for banning this stuff. Is it protecting people to ban kratom?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's made from the powderized leaves of the kratom evergreen tree, and my company, Brave Botanicals, we import ours from Indonesia. It's just, that's all it is. It's unadulterated. It's just a plant. And really why it's being banned is because it's competition for the opioid industry.
Wow.
And, all sorts of pharmaceuticals, even Adderall. A lot of people take it instead of Adderall. But one of the FDA's and the CDC's talking points is, as you guys were saying before, with the alcohol-related deaths, they try to say that there's been like 40, and then the CDC recently said 91 kratom-related deaths. But then when you go dig a little bit deeper, which no one does in this country, they just read the headline. And of course, when they put out these releases, the mainstream media just gives you the most outrageous stuff, like the explosion and kratom-related deaths kind of stuff. It turns out that most of those people had like fentanyl in their system, opioids, heroin. Somebody jumped off a roof. Somebody was shot. And there's very few, only like 7 out of the 91 that only had kratom in their system. But chances are there was some other complication, or they had heart problems or whatever. It's a relatively benign substance. And it's ironic because with all the opioid stuff going on, and I know New Hampshire's hit pretty hard with that.
Yeah.
A lot of people use it to help kick that habit.
That's
and
what I've
to
heard.
minimize the withdrawal symptoms.
I've heard it's very successful helping people get off of addictions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been a hard industry to be in. I'm actually giving away Kratom for free. If people go to freeounceofkratom.com, freeounceofkratom.com, and just pay $5 shipping and handling, and I'll send you a free ounce. That's my way to try to overcome getting banned doing advertising on Facebook. But it's also been a pain in the butt with the payments. And so it's cool that Derrick and Steven are on, because we take cryptocurrency. We also take e-check. Credit card companies won't touch it because they're pressured by the banks and the federal government. This whole Department of Justice program called Operation Choke Point. But the e-checks are safe and secure. Just use your routing number, your checking account. And of course, we take crypto. But early on, I was using this software called GoURL, which you guys are probably familiar with.
GoURL.
Your competitors.
Yeah, I know about that.
What a name.
And so I was like, okay, Bitcoin. I'll be able to take Bitcoin using this plugin. It's pretty easy. It generated the invoice and everything. They actually kicked me to the curb because I take Kratom, and they're like a centralized company.
Oh my
They'd
God.
be liable.
That's such a joke.
Oh man. Well, hey, we have to prevent ourselves from being able to be corrupted like that. Maybe they were like us before, and somehow they forgot to design the system right. So now because because they can be pressured to ban, then they will be pressured to ban when maybe the original ideologues move on or get different roles.
What was the breakup letter? I mean, did you get a notice from them saying, we're sorry, but we found out that you're selling Kratom and we don't feel comfortable? Or was it just, we're terminating our agreement and they didn't say why?
They referred to their user agreement and they referenced the section that says you can't sell things that are illegal, even though it's not illegal federally. Right. It is illegal in 6 states and like San Diego County, Denver, Colorado, of all places, even though psilocybin is legal and shrooms are legal. You know?
What's the legality of, now federally, I know nobody here is an attorney, but I'm just going to ask, what's the legality if you're shipping out of Austin, Texas, where you're based, where Brave Botanicals is based, into one of those 6 states where it's prohibited? Is that illegal for you to do federally, or since it's legal federally, it's legal for you to ship it, but not legal for them to receive it? How does that work?
It's in the state. They just add it to their Schedule 1 along with like LSD and heroin and stuff, and so it says that it's illegal to possess, to use, to distribute. So I don't know that it says it's illegal to import or that the person that's sending it to that state would be held liable. But, you just got to have a county attorney or that wants to make an issue out of it. So I don't ship to those states, although people have asked me to. A lot of people just go to the border and they get like a P.O. box and stuff somewhere else. But everyone always finds a way around
of course,
silly laws.
Prohibitions. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, how many years have you been doing this, John? Because it feels like like 2 or 3. How long have you been at this?
For 3 years. We started selling it at Brave New Books, and back then people didn't really buy the books. They mainly bought the health products. And I discovered Kratom, and it really took off. And it was really valuable for me. It's been the hardest entrepreneurial thing. I've been an entrepreneur since 2009, self-employed, doing this or that. And it's been the most difficult. I can't do Facebook ads. YouTube accounts get shut down. No credit cards. It's illegal in 6 states. And then when I talk to people about it, like Kratom this, Kratom that, they Google it and they hear all the nightmare stories from the propaganda machine. But it really helps a lot of people. So it's my business.
Hold that
but it's also
thought,
activism
John, if you can
because
stick with us here, because, longtime activist, longtime Liberty guy, John Bush, he's here. We're going to continue, and your calls and thoughts are certainly welcome. 855-450-FREE. Maybe you've had an experience with Kratom. I have. I've been actually experimenting with it over the last week. It is Free Talk Live.
Warning, this is a privacy alert. You are being spied on right now as I speak by your phone. If you want this to stop, visit GoDarkBags.com and we'll show you how elite military units protect themselves and how you can too. Go Dark Bags are lab tested and guaranteed for life. Visit GoDarkBags.com now and enter discount code FTL to save 15%. That's GoDarkBags.com. Discount code FTL. Your privacy depends on it. End transmission.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite is nutrition.
Pick up 2 bottles of Lico-Chops, get the 3rd bottle free.
New improved Lico-Chops with omega-3, omega-6, vitamin E.
And now, 6 extra direct-fed microbials.
Even better for the digestive tract and immune system.
Try Lico-Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself.
it called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here. You can bring up whatever you want. Maybe you've had an experience with Kratom. We've got one of the guys who sells it online. Actually, he's giving it away, as a matter of fact. John Bush is with us here, and also in the studio, it's Ian.
And Steven.
And Derrick J. And I just went to freeounceofkratom.com.
Right.
And it's a real website.
It's a real deal.
I can do it.
It's a classic offer. John Bush back with us here. By the way, I want to make sure we do talk about helpmetakebitcoin.com, because there's a lot of businesses out there that should be taking cryptocurrency. Maybe yours should be doing it. If you're ready to get started, go to helpmetakebitcoin.com. It's way easier than you think it's going to be, especially if you're a mom and pop business and you got a brick and mortar location, or maybe you're a service provider. Maybe you're going to your customers. Maybe you're a plumber or something like that. It makes it so easy. Helpmetakebitcoin.com. They'll walk you through the steps that you need to take from getting your cryptocurrency wallet set up. If you haven't ever done that before, there's that part. That's super easy. And then going and getting started over at Anypay with helpmetakebitcoin.com. They will make it easy for you to accept a bunch of different cryptos. What are you guys up to? 11 different cryptocurrencies, I think?
Something like that.
Something like that. Right now.
We hope it will become just one.
Yeah. Helpmetakebitcoin.com. So we continue here, but let's talk more with John Bush, and he's with us in Austin, Texas. So, John, you were telling us about the difficulties that you've faced from financial providers and YouTube and advertising venues like Facebook, basically telling you they don't want your money, they don't want to do business with you, not because you're some sort of violent criminal or racist or something like that, which is what we've seen people like that. Racist, for instance, former co-host Chris Cantwell, who we kicked off the show. He's been shut out of a bunch of different financial venues, and understandably so. But you just sell a natural product from a plant that grows in Asia called Kratom.
Yeah, and it helps a lot of people, which is why it's frustrating, but it drives my commitment to keep it going. Yeah, I've gone through probably like 9 to 10 different credit card / debit card processing solutions. And early on, I was able to fly under the radar, but then they really started cracking down. So I had to get clever. Like I would send myself a PayPal invoice to 3 or 4 fake email addresses. I would collect their credit card information offline in a secure way where it would split half the credit card info to one place, half to the other place, and then I would enter it in manually. I did the same thing with Cash App, which actually has a link, and you can send the link to yourself and then put the credit card info. But I've had my PayPal account, my girlfriend's PayPal account got shut down, my Square account, my Cash App.
Man.
And finally, I just accepted it. And I had a really steep drop in my business when I finally had no more hacks or clever tricks, and they really were cracking down. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm just going to lean into crypto and lean into e-checks. E-checks are really popular in the cannabis industry. And so it's basically like an electronic draw.
These are
someone's
just
bank account.
ACH transfers, as they call them, basically.
Similar.
Yeah.
Somehow the company manages, they collect the payment from the customer's checking account, and then they actually overnight a printed out check with the routing and account number on it. And so it's super smooth and seamless. I would argue it's even safer than the credit card.
Do they know that you're selling Kratom?
They do.
They don't care. Okay.
They don't care. It's the credit card companies. It's this Operation Choke Point. Started under Obama. It was supposed to stop money laundering and like these payday lenders where there's some schemes going on there. But instead, they used it to crack down on the firearms industry, adult toys, head shops, cannabis, kratom, CBD. These are my favorite industries here, and they're cracking down.
Now we're now they're using it to go after sick people, because people who are using kratom have been using it very successfully, from what I understand, as you pointed out. Folks who have the ADHD, attention deficit disorder, they've used kratom to much success. Nobody, who's one of our co-hosts here on Free Talk Live, he's been experimenting with it recently. You sent us a care package, John, from Brave Botanicals, and we've got a few different types of kratom here in the studio. And nobody said that he had an amazing experience his second day of using it, where he felt like it was better for him than Adderall because it gave him focus without giving him a kind of a jittery edge. And is that a common experience that, with some of your customers?
Yeah, my partner actually, she was taking Adderall for like a decade, starting in college, and she got caught in this vicious cycle where, because it's literally meth, right? It's just like prescription meth. She'd be all hyped up when she would get off of work, and then she would drink in order to pump the brakes, as she would say. So she got caught with this alcohol issues and then with the Adderall. And when we met, Kratom's my business. So I was like, hey, let's get you off of this stuff. And I helped her, and she took the White Lightning, which is a white Mangosh strain. And she was able to quit the Adderall. And in turn, it was really easy for her to almost quit the drinking completely, and just has a few social drinks. So it's a game changer. And I was saying before, I get pleasure out of being in this space because I'm not a fan of pharmaceutical companies and how they work with the federal government, the revolving door. And many of my customers are taking it instead of prescription pain medicine. And it's so much safer. It's less expensive. It's definitely less risky. And when it comes to the opioid crisis, a lot of people are dying because these opioid pills, they cause respiratory depression. So people take so much of it that their lungs stop working. And while kratom has been identified as an opioid as well because it interacts with the opioid receptors, it also interacts with the dopamine and serotonin receptors, which is why it's good for anxiety and stress. It doesn't cause the respiratory depression, which is why it has such, really good potential to help a lot of people and to reverse this opioid crisis. But of course, the government gets in the way and jams it all up. And now it's like, as a kratom vendor, there's a certain bit of paranoia, like I'm not even supposed to be talking about this stuff, But as an activist, I'm like sticking my thumb at them.
Why wouldn't you have to? Wait, you can't talk about it? What do you mean?
You can't. So you can't make claims, right? I would never say that kratom would cure or treat.
Right? Yeah, you can't do that. The FDA will lock you up.
Kratom vendors are getting shut down. Well, they're getting like letters and threats and fines if they mention this idea that kratom helps people to overcome opioid dependency and addiction.
Well, I mean, if that's what people are saying, you can say that's what people are saying.
Yeah, those are testimonials.
You can give a testimonial. But that doesn't mean they won't make your life difficult.
I try to be conscious about the language. My customers say this, and my girlfriend did this, that, and the other. But like you said, they don't follow their own laws half the time, so they can really do whatever they want.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're out there, John, and it sounds like it's definitely been an interesting story, and I appreciate you calling in to share it with us. And of course, you actually are a sponsor on our podcast, I believe, starting this week, if I'm not mistaken, or very, very soon, if not already.
I think it might have started yesterday.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I'm glad you're leaning into Bitcoin. That sounds like a really smart move. And that's the silver lining to this cloud. I'm so sorry for you, John, that you're going through a hard time, like in your business with the government making it difficult for you to be an entrepreneur and help people have better lives. But
if there's anybody who's going to push through it, it's going to be John Bush.
Not only that, but it's driving people to alternatives so that they can use better money. They can have more freedom.
Yeah, and try it for yourself at freeounceofkratom.com. John, thanks for calling in tonight. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, that's John Bush from Brave Botanicals. We continue here. Your calls and thoughts certainly welcome. You can bring up whatever's on your mind. It is Free Talk Live.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Are you a sneezer? If you're not, can you get close to one? I don't literally mean someone sneezing. Sneezer, as defined by marketing guru Seth Godin, is an opinion leader. When a sneezer mentions something, other people catch what Godin calls the idea virus. Seth Godin says some people are more likely to tell their friends about a great new idea. So identifying and courting sneezers is a key success factor for idea merchants. His book, Unleashing the Idea Virus, is the most downloaded ebook in history, and you can download the whole book free. That's how he's making his idea contagious. Click tips, tricks, and other stuff to help you cut through the clutter at www.survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You may dial in toll-free. Bring up whatever's on your mind here tonight. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Here in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Steven.
And Derrick J.
And we're going to continue with more of your calls and thoughts coming up. The Immigrations and Customs Enforcement conflict with some computer programmers. We'll tell you what that's all about. Plus, again, you can bring up whatever you want. And then let's go to the phones, to the fun. We've got David is in Colorado. You're on Free Talk Live. David.
Hey, gentlemen.
It's Dave Ridley from RidleyReport.com. Go ahead, Dave.
Hi, Steven. Hi, Derrick.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, what's on your mind tonight?
Hey, I like to keep track of censorship issues at school boards. Churchill once said, if we make charity a government program, it will become fascist charity. We'll have this charity Gestapo, right? It's the same thing with schools. Once you make the government in charge of it, even this sacred thing of education starts to become a police state. So what happened, I guess, over at at Hampton, which is in eastern New Hampshire, near the coast, there's this lady named Anne Marie Banfield. She used to live in Bedford, where I live, and so I know her. And she, I guess, she now lives in Hampton, and she tried to speak at a school board meeting. And there had been some kind of a scandal at that school board over racist bullying, alleged racist bullying.
Meaning the school board members were being racist bullies, or the students in the school were being racist bullies?
Oh, I don't think there is an accusation that the school board was being racist bullies.
Okay.
I think it was just something that was going on in this location where they had locked all the children in, right?
Right.
They may not technically lock them in, but it's a jail school. You're
Yeah, I mean,
forced to be there.
you treat them like inmates, and they're going to act like inmates.
Right. So anyway, I guess what happened is she's trying to speak about this issue and get some clarification. And what happened was, while she was talking, a school board member just cut her off and said, quote, "So, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we can't talk about student matters," unquote. So you can't talk about student matters at a
school board
student
meeting.
training facility, right? Yeah. So if you can't talk about that, what can you talk about at the school board meeting?
Yeah, good question.
Nothing. They're a private company. They have their own rules.
Well, they're not a private company. They're a government bureaucracy.
I don't know. I mean, they're a private company. Where they get their money is a different issue. But I mean, everyone's a private company. Everyone, like, I think it's best to not treat these people as if they are us or that we're involved somehow. And like, they're only loosely involved with the people who are stealing the money anyway.
Well, right now, the school boards are the bulk of the property tax bill, like 60% or so. Some towns, I think it's even a little higher, 60 to 70% of anyone's given property tax bill. So whether you're involved or not, they're going to be involved with your life because the property taxes here are ridiculous. And it's mostly because of the schools. I mean, there's no doubt the city of Keene is a government, and they're, a bureaucracy, and they're criminals, and they hurt peaceful people, and they are wasteful just like any other government gang. But they're dwarfed by the waste of the school board and the school system.
So I guess this is not going the school board's way. I guess about 300 Hampton parents have apparently signed a petition calling for a vote of no confidence in the school board superintendent. And they've also, I guess, Banfield has notified the state of her concerns, asking for clarification on her right to talk about these kinds of issues.
Of course, none of this will actually amount to anything. That's, part of comes back to what you were talking about earlier, Stephen, with people paying attention to politics as though it's going to, change something. Okay, great. They voted no confidence on the superintendent. So let's say they let him go with a golden parachute and he gets, his retirement fund or whatever, because they always let these guys go with golden parachutes. Almost, it seems like it's very rare that they'll just get fired or something like that, because they got their teachers' unions behind them and their bureaucrats will stand behind them. And so let's say they send this guy to the curb and they bring in a new superintendent. Is it going to change anything?
Well, yeah, actually, yeah, in a sense, because you have to focus on what we can actually do, right? What we can do, and there is a strategy behind this, is to undermine confidence in the government so that people don't,
But if people believe that the next superintendent's going to be a good guy, then how does that undermine confidence in the government?
This is boosting confidence in the institution by giving it some credit and saying, oh, it's important that we change the superintendent of this thing.
See, we did a good job here.
It's
See,
not important
we got rid
that
of
you
this bad
change
guy.
that.
Yeah, they're using the government. They're having a vote.
Well, it's the whole concept of guerrilla fighting or guerrilla conflict. You can't take down the British Empire.
Well, I wouldn't say it's anything like guerrilla conflict. I mean, you're not coming in from the outside in a way they don't expect. You're using the system. You're or not you, Dave, but the people in this particular case are using the system to try to change the system. And look, if that's what people want to do, then fine. I mean, everybody's got to have a hobby, and I'm running for city council here in Keene, so I can't say I'm not part of it. But to some extent, I only do it to get a message out. I have no expectation of winning. If I were to win the city council office, I would have to. I mean, I couldn't swear the oath. I can't swear an oath to the United States, which is part of the oath, so I can't even take office. I mean, so working within people watching this cam are getting a good show right now over at cam.freetalklive.com. But, I'm not against it necessarily, but I think it's almost as pointless, if not more pointless, than going out and waving signs on the side of the road.
It's not pointless. That's a defeatist way of looking at it, and you're no defeatist.
It's not a defeatist way of looking at it. But it also is not a positive way. But there are people who are doing it differently, who are working outside of the system. For instance, creating community schools that are exempt from taxes, like they're doing in Newmarket, New Hampshire, where a lot of libertarians are sending their kids.
Really?
Yeah, and because they have this whole big property that is exempt from taxes because it's this community thing, and it's not in Hampton. Like, just avoid Hampton. Like there's no hope for Hampton.
Send me a link, would you, about that Newmarket thing? I'll
Free
call
Coast,
radio about that.
freecoast.org is where you want to go.
It there?
It is that.
Oh, really? Okay. Good. Dave, I appreciate the continued reports and updates, and folks can check you out on your YouTube channel over at ridleyreport.com. Thank you for the call tonight. I love that he's still, tapped into what's going on out here in New Hampshire, even though he's in Colorado.
Guy. He is awesome.
At the moment.
Watch all his videos.
Yeah, and I think to some extent you do. Those who are active within these areas, like the school board meetings and such, they can only learn by banging their head up against the wall so many times that it actually starts to hurt, and they get the message that it's not actually going to change anything. I remember when we used to run candidates more frequently here for school board in Keene, and I don't think we've had one run for a few years now. And I remember reading about the responsibilities of the school board member. Apparently, if I recall this correctly, I think you are obligated to vote on everything that comes in front of you. You can't just opt out as a school board member. Like, part of their rules say that you have to vote.
I'm sure you can do whatever you want.
Well, maybe so, but when you sign up for the job, you say you're going to follow the rules,
yeah, but
right?
Some
you swear an oath.
Made those up, and no one pays any attention. Well, seriously, that's true. It's just
they can put you off the board. I mean, obviously you can do what you want, but they can do what they want too, right? Like, I'm just saying, normally you would think if you get to vote on a thing, you could also not vote. Well, in that case, you can't. If you want to follow their rules,
there are
you
no
have
rules.
to vote one way or the other.
There are no rules.
Well, they certainly think that there are. And for some of them, there may not be rules because they may have enough power. So, like,
it's whatever you can get away with.
That's true. And that's what they're doing in these towns that banned, raised the smoking age illegally, like they did here in Keene, or ban various different products that they don't have the supposed authorization to do. The thing is, they don't actually enforce the rules on themselves, but they certainly want to enforce them on you and I. There's more coming up here in moments. 855, 450, free like freedom.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame he owed money to the IRS and they finally caught up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get to Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world, then bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 800-590-4930. 800-590-4930. 800-590-4930. That's 800-590-4930.
When you have a pain in the neck, a real pain in the neck, back, shoulder, or legs, you now have two convenient choices to get fast relief without taking another pill. Because now, Sunny Bay heating wraps and pillows are available at both Amazon and Walmart. Yes, see Sunny Bay's 4.5 to 5-star customer reviews on Amazon.com or Walmart.com. Our microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra large body wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it. Even while driving, Sunny Bay wraps will not burn and stay balanced to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to help treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part, Sunny Bay quality products start at under $20. Join thousands of happy customers and see why Sunny Bay products have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. It's easy. Click Amazon or Walmart and search today for Sunny Bay.
Free Talk Live.
What kind of force should I be able to use against a person who tries to prevent me from bringing a guest onto my property?
It depends on if it's a legal citizen, they shouldn't be able to use any.
I don't care about your laws, son. Hey, listen to me. Your politicians are a bunch of liars and thieves. Tell me about your laws now.
Let me finish my statement. Or
I heard about your legals and illegals.
Let him go, Mark. Let him go. Go ahead.
Screaming a little liberal, aren't you?
I ain't no liberal.
Let me finish what I'm saying without cutting me off.
I'm not a liberal. You call me a liberal, and we'll be going at it all night long.
Well, that's the impression that you're giving with the statement.
It's because you've never listened.
Now, if I can respond, all of the laws that are set forth in this nation were set forth by the representatives of the people that we put into power.
You mean liars and thieves.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. You may join us here. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. That's where you will sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. And tonight in the studio, it's Ian.
Steven Zeiler.
And Derrick J.
And I want to make sure you know about Edge Wallet. It is my favorite cryptocurrency wallet. It's the one that I use more than any other. And you can go and get your copy of Edge Wallet on your iOS or Android device. Go to your favorite app store to do that. Or if you want to learn more about their technology, go to edge.app. That is their website. It's user-controlled, meaning you own your own money, and there's a bunch of different cryptos in there. Everything from Bitcoin Cash, the original Bitcoin, Stellar, Bitcoin SV, Ethereum, Monero. They got Ravencoin in there now. It's just, yeah, it's an amazing app. They
are great.
They really do good work. You can secure your freedom. They're a veteran team building since 2014. Buy, sell, trade, and securely hold cryptocurrencies. We actually just interviewed Paul Puey earlier this week, the CEO of Edge.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how there's these various different sites out there like Changely or Shapeshift, these sites that allow you to take one crypto that you might have and then get a different crypto. You can exchange it without having to have an account. And some of their, I guess Shapeshift changed how they do their business, but some of them like Changely still don't require an account.
Right.
And I guess there's several of these things now. There used to be just like 2 or 3. Now there's several.
There used to be 1.
Yeah. So what happened was Edge has made their wallet, when you go to the exchange option, you tell Edge what you want to exchange. So let's say you've got Bitcoin BTC and you want to change that into Dash. You tell it what you want to do, and then it goes and it pulls the various different providers and gets the best rate for you, which is pretty slick. I didn't even know they did that, so that's very, very cool. They do some cool stuff over there. Edge.app. Go there to learn more. So let's finally get into it. We were barraged with phone calls, and that's a good thing. We like it when that happens. Lots of great topics here tonight, and of course the phones are still open. But there's this story that we haven't gotten to it all yet tonight. It's about ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement bureaucracy, the people that are ruining lives across the United States by stopping peaceful people from coming in to try to make a better life for themselves. What are they up to now?
This is a really happy story, and it's not one that your listeners are probably going to hear on the mainstream news because, what bleeds leads. There's a lot of negative stuff. Well, this is a positive story, and it's one that's a story of personal empowerment that anyone can really emulate this. And so what happened, here's the headline from Ars Technica: Coder deletes open source add-on for Chef in protest over ICE contract. So that takes a little bit of, there's some deconstructing we need to do with that headline. Chef is a program. It's a computer program.
I'm using it right now as we speak.
Steven is using it. It's a popular thing. I guess it's made in San Francisco, Silicon Valley somewhere. It's Steven, can you describe what type of program it is and what it does for people?
Chef helps you manage your servers and make sure they're always running the right thing.
Okay, and so what's an example?
It's a Ruby programming tool using the Ruby programming language. An example is the Anypay charts website,
which is
anypaycharts.com.
Okay,
and it's a website with charts and information, and there is some code that you tell it how to deploy the chart app onto our server.
So my understanding
of it... So the chef
of
deploys the chart app?
Yeah,
right, automatically.
Picture the Swedish chef, okay? And he's got recipes in a cookbook.
The Muppet guy.
The Muppet guy, yeah. Okay, so this is just my layman understanding of what Chef is as a program. So what it does for programmers is gives them this tool that they can give the program and say, all right, make this recipe, and that he does his work of putting all the pieces together to make the server run the way that you want it to.
And that's what the chef does.
That's what the chef does.
So you give the chef orders basically, and the chef kind of puts it together.
So say your server, something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Well, chef knows how to just make a new soup. Okay. We'll just make a new one.
Okay.
Because he's got all the ingredients and everything. So. The CEO said multiple Chef customers are affected by this change, this coder who deleted something, and now Chef will not renew its contract with ICE. So So here is the story from Ars Technica, and it's getting a lot of attention there.
I love Chef.
Yeah, over 300 comments.
I do too now.
This,
I never heard of him before. This is great.
Yeah, and this story just came out yesterday. It's got over 300 comments there. On September 17th, Seth Vargo, a former employee of Chef, the software deployment automation company, found out via a tweet that Chef licenses had been sold to the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency.
Which people in Silicon Valley hate ICE and all this immigration stuff because they desperately need smart people, and they can't even hire them to move to Silicon Valley.
Yeah, it's a really interesting challenge there. So it was a $95,000 1-year contract.
Okay.
Through the approved contractor CNC International Computers and Consultants. In protest, Vargo, this former employee of Chef, decided to archive the GitHub repository for 2 open source Chef add-ons that he had developed in the Ruby programming language. So he made these add-ons to the program. He's a former employee, and he hosts this code.
Was he an employee at the time when he made this change?
No.
No, okay.
But he wrote this code, and it lives on a place where code can live on the internet called
That's
GitHub.
Right.
And he
That's where open
archived
source
it.
code lives, GitHub, right?
It's not
all
always
source.
open. It's
no?
not. No. You
There's
can
closed source stuff on there too?
Yeah, you
I
can
didn't
have
know that.
private repositories
Okay.
and public repositories. So this
okay.
was public, and
Okay.
he archived it. So this is his code. I mean, it's like if you
And
wrote
to archive means it is no longer available?
Well, yeah, I guess it's. How would you put it, Stephen?
Probably.
Yeah,
That's probably why they got mad.
I'm just assuming that it's like a box that you tick that says other people can't see this now. So that means they can't use it.
Unless they already downloaded it. If it was open source,
They may
then
have
there
it.
could be copies of it out there.
There could be, but it seems like the way Chef runs, it used this piece of source code. It used this code, and it's
from
gone
that
now.
repository, and
Seems
so
like
Chef
it.
would be unable to use that particular ingredient. is
That's
basically what
right,
you're
because the CEO says that multiple Chef customers are affected by this, and now Chef is like, "Look, we got to choose our other customers. They're more important than this one customer." And this guy archiving this code, he revealed our hand. We have to choose one now. So
Interesting.
Back to the story. He says on his GitHub repository page, Vargo wrote, quote, "I have a moral and ethical obligation to prevent my source from being used for evil."
Wow. Bring up the applause, because that's a good one.
Yeah. Good for him for taking a stand, I gotta say.
And it's the only stand he could have taken. If it's open source, this is just a symbolic move almost to say, okay, well, I'm taking my open source project down because I'm protesting.
Well, he could have changed the license to be BIPCOT no gov license. So it's still an open source license for the most part, for civil people, but no
Somebody
gov.
should have told him about that license.
Yeah, well, he could put it back up with that license. So he's listening now.
Yeah.
So this chef obviously found out about this, and what did they do? Did they contact the author and say, hey, we'll cut ICE out of the picture if you'll put your software back online?
Well, here's what happened. That move, according to an all-hands email sent out by Chef CEO Barry Christ, later published on the company's website, quote, "impacted production systems for a number of our customers. Our entire team has worked to minimize customer downtime and will continue to do so until we restore services to 100% operation." Chris, the CEO, faced backlash internally from employees over the deal. The work, he pointed out, had begun in 2014, well before the current administration implemented the child detention policies that Vargo was protesting. And now that's a really interesting...
I don't know about that.
That's
Is that true?
No, it's not true. And I think that's a misreporting.
Yeah, but blue is good, red is bad.
Yeah, blue, exactly. Because from my understanding, and I'm not an expert in this area, but I think Obama was detaining more
Trump's
people.
detentions are down compared to Obama, from what I understand, yeah.
Yeah, but Orange Man bad. So
yeah, but
obviously.
Trump's detention centers, their music is not nearly as good.
For context, we began working with DHS ICE during the previous administration to modernize their IT practices with Agile and DevOps. And there's more to this story.
All right, we'll continue here in moments. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We got plenty of time for you as well. If you want to join us here on the radio, and you can also call in via our Discord server at discord.lrn.fm. It's Free Talk Live.
You love Bitcoin. It's the future, right? Well, no, not if everyone stops using it. I mean, think about it. How many places in your town take Bitcoin? One? None? Let's be real. If this Bitcoin thing is ever going to happen, it's going to need your help. The good news is the guys at Anypay have your back. We built a website called helpmetakebitcoin.com. And it's a place you can send any business. And they'll be set up to take Bitcoin in 5 minutes. helpmetakebitcoin.com.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years.
How many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They'd rather keep their clients in the dark. There are too many lawyer jokes to count. However, there are some lawyers with more noble intentions. At the Institute for Justice, we bring the light to our clients. We are a non-profit public interest law firm with clear values and principles. At IJ, we fight for those whose most basic rights are denied by the government. Visit our website today at ij.org.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,532, silver at $18.61, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,551. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, in mid-2019, Hawaii became the 26th state to decriminalize small amounts of marijuana. After the bill became law, Hawaii's governor cautioned that decriminalizing the herb does not mean the state is prepared to legalize recreational use of cannabis. Under the new law, people caught with marijuana will no longer face a misdemeanor charge that had been punishable by up to 30 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. Now, people caught carrying 3 grams or less can still be slapped with a citation, carrying a $130 fine, but no jail time. Hawaii's Democrat-controlled legislature approved the bill and then sent it to the governor. The governor, in May, neither signed it nor vetoed it. As a result, the bill became law and will go into effect January 11th, 2020. The Marijuana Policy Project said, quote, "Unfortunately, 3 grams would be the smallest amount of any state that has decriminalized or legalized simple possession of marijuana," end quote. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A police officer in Florida is facing suspension after arresting 2 young 6-year-old children as the Orlando Police Department investigates the incidents, which raise fresh questions about the over-policing of school children in the United States, as well as the arresting officer's own violent past and record of excessive force. The Mind Unleashed reports that Orlando police officer Dennis Turner was on duty as a school resource officer when he arrested the children in separate incidents on misdemeanor charges on Thursday. Local news outlet WFLA reported that the 6-year-old girl was charged with battery after kicking a classmate at her K-5 school, a problem that her grandmother attributed to behavioral issues related to sleep apnea. Following her arrest, the first grader was booked into a local juvenile detention center 8 miles from the incident. According to the child's grandmother, her granddaughter was handcuffed, fingerprinted, and even had her mugshot taken. The events surrounding the Storm Area 51 meme, which went viral over the summer, appear to have been little more than hot air and social media buzz, as a few hundred alien enthusiasts and revelers partied near the secretive U.S. military base in a largely uneventful manner. Yet, despite the wholly innocuous nature of the Storm Area 51 phenomenon, the Mind Unleashed reports the U.S. government doubled down on its menacing posture this past weekend, in a bizarre tweet promising deadly force toward millennials who might raid the site. In a tweet Friday by the Defense Visual Information Distribution Service, a Pentagon public relations agency, the unit shared a photo of a B-2 stealth bomber, accompanied by the ominous caption, quote, "The last thing millennials will see if they attempt the Area 51 raid today." The message has since been deleted, and the department issued a tweet the next day, calling the tweet inappropriate and saying they apologize for the mistake. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A harrowing situation on Broad Street came to its conclusion Thursday night as a group of hostages were freed from local comedy club The Laugh Up Lounge after a tense 7-minute stand-up set.
Every once in a while, he'd grab his notebook, and I'd think maybe this is it. Maybe he's gonna let us go. But he just kept talking.
Additionally, The Onion recovered this video footage from the cell phone of one of the many captives.
Hey, sir, what do you do for work? If someone sees this, help us. Please help us. Yeah, micromanagement. You guys are totally gonna wang it out. Oh my god. Oh my god, no. Cool.
I'm not a religious person, but at one point I said the Lord's Prayer, and it actually had a calming effect. Like Jesus was standing next to me and said, "You're gonna get through this."
I mean, sometimes you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, don't take life for granted because you just never know when something like this could happen. So,
this is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. We're launching into the third hour of the program. As always, you're invited to join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Or call us on our Discord on-air call-in line rooms. They're open and available to you over at discord.lrn.fm. So you can bring up anything that you want to discuss. We've been talking about ICE, the Immigrations and Customs Enforcement Bureaucracy, being shut out from services from an organization known as Chef. It has nothing to do with cooking. It has everything to do with programming and running servers, for instance. And unfortunately, the Chef organization had announced a contract with ICE for a 1 year, $90-something thousand or something ridiculous like that.
About $100,000.
I'm sure they were just looking for an excuse to fire these guys. Like, imagine all these people working at Chef, this really cool company in California. Then they have to work with ICE people. Like,
they don't have to work with ICE. They're just their customers.
No, they were training them. Like,
well,
it was all.
The statement that Derrick was reading, and maybe you want to read it again as we start this hour out, the statement from I think it was the CEO of Chef, he sounded like he was filleting ICE, talking about how we were helping them back in 2014 to do X, Y, and Z, and he sounded very proud of that. I'm curious to hear the full statement again and where he was going with it.
Yeah. So, first of all, just as a CEO of a business, you don't want to be putting your customers down and saying that you were making some mistake by serving them. I mean,
I would want to do that if it was the government. I would want, but then again, I'm not a CEO of a major company. I don't have to answer to board of directors people. I would not take a role like that.
I think he was proud. He's like, look, our software is helping them modernize
destroy
what
lives.
They're doing. I don't know that he saw it that way.
No, of course not.
So here's what the
now, this is different because what happened to start this whole conversation was one of the programmers who had worked for Chef, had worked for them, pulled his GitHub, or he archived his GitHub files, which had been available previously, and Chef had relied upon.
Yes.
Once he found out that Chef was doing business with ICE, he said, well, this is my program that I wrote, and I'm going to take it offline.
And it hurt a bunch of their customers.
Yeah.
And so Chef was like, uh-oh, what do we do? So here's what the programmer said on his GitHub page.
Okay.
I have a moral and ethical obligation to prevent my source from being used for evil.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I agree too, but why didn't he agree 5 years ago when they were detaining more people than they are today?
Maybe
I mean,
he
it
didn't
seems
know.
like an unprincipled position.
Maybe he just found out, because remember, it was a tweet. It said at the very beginning of the story.
Did say that.
There
he
was
found out via tweet
so
that
the
Chef
company
licenses has been sold to the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency under a 1-year contract.
Maybe the company bragged about it in their tweets, and they hadn't previously.
Maybe 5 years ago he didn't understand the situation with ICE. And
Could be. Maybe he was like, 15 or something like that.
It's been an evolution. Anyway, in response to that programmer pulling down his code and posting on the GitHub about this moral obligation he has, the CEO sent out an all-hands email that was published on the company's website, in which the CEO says, quote, the move impacted production systems for a number of our customers. Our entire team has worked to minimize customer downtime and will continue doing so until we restore services to 100% operation. Now, the quote that you were looking for, Ian, the
one where he starts, well, I would say verbally filleting the ICE people.
Chris faced backlash internally from employees over the deal. The work he had pointed out had begun in 2014, well before the current administration implemented the child detention policies that Vargo was protesting. Quote, for context, we began working with DHS ICE during the previous administration to modernize their IT practices with Agile and DevOps.
These are programs, Agile and DevOps.
These are programming terms.
These are like group organization techniques.
Okay. So they're helping the government bureaucracy be more effective at doing its job, which is to destroy families and tear lives apart.
Probably they're helping people keep records a little more efficiently.
Yeah, so now they can hunt down people more effectively than they could previously, thanks to this company. What else does he have to say?
He continued, quote, while I understand that many of you and many of our community members would prefer we had no business relationship with DHS ICE, I have made a principled decision with the support of the Chef executive team to work with the institutions of our government, regardless of whether or not we personally agree with their various policies.
Sick.
My goal is to continue growing Chef as a company that transcends numerous U.S. presidential administrations.
What is he going to do? It doesn't matter if he
take the money.
Doesn't matter if he gets fired. If the board of directors removes him, what? They're going to put in someone who does what
another
they want.
tool. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll put in another tool.
They're a public company, probably. And yeah. But
at some point if you have principles, you should exercise them. And the programmer, who is no longer employed by Chef, exercised some level of principle here, whereas this other guy, if he has some sort of beliefs, He doesn't want to show them. He wants a contract.
He is displaying his principles. That is allegiance
obedience
to Chef.
Through action.
No, not to the government.
Yeah,
he has
to the
obedience to
corporation.
Chef. He wants to make sure that this company grows.
Including using government money, taxpayer dollars, taken off the backs of
it's not
the workers.
financially obvious that cutting out the government is going to be better for Chef, the company.
It'll be better if they keep taking the government money.
Not necessarily.
Well, that's what he thinks.
This programmer forced the issue, and so now they're not renewing the contract. That's the happy ending to the story.
Does this come up in this press release?
Because
so
he just says he's going to support
that's what
them.
the headline said, guys.
Yeah, but you
okay.
They don't always get the headlines right.
I'll continue.
All right.
But today, Chris, the CEO, shifted his position. In a new message to staff, he said, quote, "After deep introspection and dialogue within Chef, we will not renew our current contracts with ICE and CBP,
Customs and Border Patrol,
when they expire over the next year."
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Chef,
Well, that's the best they can do. They can't break the contract in the middle of it. They've got
that would be wrong.
Yeah.
Chef will fulfill our full obligations under the current contracts.
Well, I think what happened there, the part they're not saying, is
there is more.
Yeah,
But,
sure, we can get to that. But I'm just going to speculate here that he'd said the thing that he said about we're going to serve the government, and then they had some sort of a feedback come from the other people within Chef who were like, yeah, we want to stand with our friend who pulled this down. He was right. That you guys are wrong about this. We don't need the $91,000. We'll be all right without this contract. Let's reverse course on this. And maybe there were enough programmers who were like ready to walk. To where this guy thought, okay.
Frankly, the loss of a single computer programmer,
no big deal,
costs way more than $91,000.
Really?
Like, in order to, because this guy was probably being paid twice that much. Okay, and in order to when you
he wasn't an employee at the time.
Well, he was an employee at one point.
He was.
When you bring someone on, it takes them months to get acquainted with the system and what they're supposed to be doing and how to provide value. They say people that I worked with claim 9 months to get someone really
it's a lot of training
going up and just getting familiar with the system. And then,
so you then
programmers
pay them
are very productive after that. They're the most productive people. They're computer programming. So $91,000, it could cost a lot of money to lose one person. And
if they were going to lose 3 or 4 or whatever.
Yeah,
right? Like
if it was one person who was really important,
Yeah.
it could cost them millions of dollars.
So he changed his mind. I'm glad to hear that.
Chris added that revenues from the current contracts would be, quote, directed to charities that help vulnerable people impacted by the policy of family separation and detention.
Wow, that is the icing on the cake. That's really nice. I'm glad to see the story take that turn. You can share your thoughts with us here. Our number, 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. Whether it's about immigration or making a stand for your principles, this is Free Talk Live.
You will understand the true intent of the Founding Fathers when they wrote the Constitution if you attend this free webinar. Chris Ann Hall, president of Liberty First University, doesn't simply regurgitate what some professor or expert has said about the Constitution. She relays the thoughts and opinions of those who wrote the documents. Her straightforward, passionate, easy-to-understand style lets anyone grasp the principles of liberty. Join us at lfu.freetalklive.com for more details and your exclusive invitation to the free webinar on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Register now at lfu.freetalklive.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Warning, this is a privacy alert. You are being spied on right now as I speak by your phone. If you want this to stop, visit GoDarkBags.com and we'll show you how elite military units protect themselves and how you can too. GoDark Bags are lab tested and guaranteed for life. Visit GoDarkBags.com now and enter discount code FTL to save 15%. That's GoDarkBags.com. Discount code FTL. Your privacy depends on it. End transmission.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can join us here. The toll-free number for you, if you want to bring up anything that's on your mind, is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm, and that's where you can sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. Now, good nutrition is key to looking and feeling great. Of course, eating right all the time can be a challenge these days. Travel and work schedules get in the way, and you might not have the desire or the time to shop and cook the right foods. Well, Balance of Nature can help you with just 3 of the Balance of Nature fruit capsules and 3 of their vegetable capsules. You get 10 servings of fruit and vegetables, and that's a lot of nutrition. For a limited time, you can get free shipping, plus a free set of fruits and veggies. If you go to balanceofnature.com, you'll get your free set after your 3rd month. You can use discount code FTL to do that. That's discount code FTL, like Free Talk Live, at balanceofnature.com. As we go to the phones, to your calls and thoughts. Henry is on the line in Colorado. Go ahead, Henry.
Hi, Derrick.
Hi.
Wouldn't you agree it's a moral imperative for somebody to tell the truth about another person, and that lying about them is a violation of the non-aggression principle?
I don't know. What's the context of this?
And lying about another person on the public airwaves, maliciously, and with that malicious disregard to the truth when they know the truth.
Whoa, that sounds really heavy.
When they're
not. Do you know this person, Derrick?
Let me interrupt you then. Speaking of heavy, you might want to tell your boyfriend right there to make amends and do as I say, because I'm not threatening him. And I'm wondering when I do as I say. When I do hurt him,
do
it. Do as I ask.
Do what I
wipe
want.
His sassafras when you can't anymore. Hey, Fredo, don't talk to me like that because I can change your life.
Did you hear about that with Chris Cuomo?
Yeah, I did.
That was funny.
All right, I'm not going to dump your call this time because normally we dump him out because he's banned technically from the show.
Him.
Oh, really?
But yeah, once he starts threatening people, he's not. He's he's being a bad boy.
It's a little sad.
Did you dump him?
Yeah, he's gone. I didn't dump him. I didn't dump him. Every word he said went on the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
Normally I dump him right away because he's technically banned from the show, but he wasn't threatening right out the gate, so I wanted to see what he had to say.
I want to work him up because he wants me. So.
Oh, he's so into you, obviously.
Yeah, so.
Dump doesn't mean just drop the call. It means
if there's a dump
you
machine,
erased
we
some
would erase
piece of
history.
it. Okay,
Yeah,
but you didn't do that with him. And so I wonder what he was getting at, really. He kind of is like a sad, sick individual who
he believes that he's been lied about on the air, where we've said in the past that he has 3 DUIs, and he's very upset, claiming he's only got 2. He's only got 2 DUIs or whatever, and apologizing to him in the past.
Well, he was too wasted to remember the third one.
Yeah, I mean, apologizing to him in the past didn't make any difference whatsoever. He just continues to harp on this as though it's going to do something.
You know, he reminds me how wonderful it is to be alive in the world in our day and age, because I don't feel like people who can, I don't know, I just feel like people like him would have a hard time with life, and it's a little bit easier now for people who have maybe some mental problems.
Yeah, well, he's obviously has a hard time with his life. I mean, the dude's obsessed with Free Talk Live. I mean, he hates us, but yet continues to listen and calls in almost every single night.
To be fair, you're obsessed with Free Talk Live, too.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I would say obsessed with it. Sometimes I dream of like going full on Bitcoin crypto, but I think this show's such an important thing to do.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. But I wish I had like another 12 hours a day I could do more crypto stuff. You know?
I know I only get to be on like once a month, but I really think this is like the show. I don't know if we're like allowed to talk about the show on the show, but this is like for me, I think of like in the days of the Enlightenment, people would go to the French salon and have intellectual conversations about philosophy, and Free Talk Live is where that conversation happens now.
It's true, and we're also one of the only outlets for cryptocurrency, you know, in the media, like to actually talk about it in a truthful fashion that's not some crazy spin like you'll get on most of the mainstream media, like hating Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and things like that. So I think that it's important for us to be here doing this, and obviously we've helped bring a lot of people within, you know, the Liberty community to the ideas of Bitcoin, and that has worked out very well for many of them.
Is it worth me trying to figure out what that call was actually supposed to be about? Because I'm still wondering. Like,
if I didn't clarify,
I wish I could.
James Witt.
I'm sorry.
He's James Witt is the lunatic that's obsessed over Free Talk Live because he feels like we told a lie about him.
I know about that, but so that's what the call was supposed. That's what he was saying.
Well, that's what he was referencing.
Confused. Okay.
Yeah. He was talking about how would you feel if somebody told a lie about you on the radio? He was talking about himself, believing that he's been lied about on this show.
All right.
He
Not
won't
by
accept
me
an apology. By Mark or something like that.
It was very out of
me,
context.
Or whatever.
Okay.
A lot of people have said that James has had 3 DUIs because some people researched it and found some evidence online that suggested that, but either way, it's just a really petty thing for him to do. You know, he apparently hates the attention, but yet loves the attention. Because he keeps calling in.
I would forget about him if he didn't call in.
He's pretty
forget about who?
Yeah, exactly. So Nintendo has not forgotten about the ROM universe and the ROM websites out there. I don't know if you guys follow
those ROMers.
Yeah, I don't know if you follow any of this like video game kind of news.
I've been using ROMs for a long time.
Yeah, okay.
Who doesn't ROM around?
Well, if you're in our age range, you probably have done something like that. Maybe some of our elderly listeners may not be too familiar. They didn't grow up with Nintendo products in their homes. But these ROMs, for those that don't know, these are downloaded versions. Basically, they rip the programming off of the cartridges for these old game systems. And there's what they call emulators that allow you to play the ROMs. So if you have a computer with you can use your keyboard or a joystick or whatever.
They sell controllers,
right? Yeah, you plug it right into your USB on your computer, and you can go back in time without having to go and buy an old Nintendo Entertainment System, many of which do not work anymore. They're just really old, and I mean, you're talking about a 30-plus-year-old system at this point.
There's no way.
It's expensive to find one that, works, and then you have to acquire the games, which is even more expensive, especially if it comes to ones that are rare.
Well, you have to blow into those cartridges all day. It's not going to work.
Yeah, half the time they don't work.
Only way.
Gotta rubber band things down.
Yeah, it's a big pain in the butt. So people came up with these emulators, and emulators are kind of old news. I mean, this is like 2-decade-old technology at least anyway. And so the emulators have gotten really good. All of the games have basically been ripped into ROM form at this point. So like, if you wanted to, you could go and download all 700, however many, Nintendo ROMs there were for the original NES and then Super NES and Genesis, all these old game systems. They're all out there.
Cool.
And there are websites that have done users the favor of kind of cataloging them all and keeping them in one place, so they're not all scattered about on various different FTP servers or websites here and hither and thither. And so Polygon is reporting at Polygon.com about Nintendo attacking one of the few remaining ROM websites, because there were, I think it was last year, there was a headline about how Nintendo sent cease and desist letters. So threats, legal threats out to all of the different ROM websites out there, and they pulled down their ROMs as a result of fear of Nintendo bringing a lawsuit against them. Well,
put them on the blockchain.
Yeah, what happens when this is in the blockchain?
It's not yet. So ROM Universe apparently didn't listen, and now Nintendo has filed a lawsuit against them. We'll tell you about it coming up here. 855-450, free like freedom. You can join us on the radio. It's Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556, or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556, ICAGoldSilver.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Hi, I'm Derrick J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict, or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derrick J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live, and you're invited if you want to join us. The toll-free number 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. People are actually waiting there. So we'll be talking to them coming up next. Your calls, of course, are welcome. Our number 855-450-FREE, and the Discord rooms are over at discord.lrn.fm. Hey, I want to make sure you know about liberty.menu. If you're an individual who rejects the initiation of force and you agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle, then you qualify for Liberty.menu. If you aren't a liberty-minded person, then sorry, you don't belong there. Liberty.menu is for people that care about freedom. It's for people that want to get the word out about the thing that they do. Maybe you've got a business. Maybe you've got an event you want to promote. Perhaps digital content that you're the creator of. You can go to Liberty.menu and use code FTL. You can get a special Free Talk Live listener badge. We can't give you a discount because the site is free, so unless you don't want publicity amongst the Liberty community for the things that you're into, then you should go there. Go to Liberty.menu and get started today. Over at Liberty.menu, list the things you do so other people who care about freedom can know that you exist. So, as we continue, Ian, Stephen, and Derrick J. in the studio here tonight. We were talking about the attack against a ROM website by Nintendo of America, but let's go to your calls and thoughts. Now, I actually I blew it. I should have screened the call in advance. We've got Pepper on the line on our Discord server. However, he has his microphone muted, so as long as the microphone stays muted, we won't be able to talk to him. And there he may be. Go ahead, Pepper.
I'm here.
Welcome.
In fact, I forgot I was waiting, actually.
Oh, well, here you are.
So I was calling because today there was a report about some surprise drop in the Bitcoin hash rate, and it sounded really technical.
Okay.
But I had recently read a book that explained all that, and I thought I'd recommend it.
Okay, sure. What is it?
And I'm like a lot of the listeners, all you guys in the studio. You know, I want this crypto thing to change the world and succeed for all the same reasons that you guys talk about. Right?
I think it already has, personally, but I mean, it's certainly going to do that more in the future, or at least I hope it will.
Right. More and more, like just all the banking issues, and you know, this is the best, as somebody said recently, it's the best peaceful protest ever. So, having said that, I'm not that technical, a little bit, and so I didn't understand all this hashing and all these mining and everything. So there's this book, and I bought it when I jumped into a Bitcoin conference recently. I just picked it up on a whim. It's called Inventing Bitcoin. And I just Googled it, and I think you can get it pretty easily, but I don't want to make this sound like a sales pitch for it. But the fact is that it was a really quick read, and it explained so many of the things that were really cloudy and confusing in my mind. And I just feel like I share that with a lot of people, so I wanted to pass that on.
Okay. Now, so one of the things that you wanted to share about the mining process that you were confused on that cleared up was what happens when the hash rate drops, that the difficulty gets easier, you mean? Is that what you were going to get to?
Well, really, actually, I don't want to try to get too much into explaining what it means.
Yeah.
More, I wanted to recommend that people that don't really, I imagine there's a lot of people out there that just have this idea of the words and we don't really understand what they mean.
Right.
But when you do understand it, it helps us understand why Bitcoin is so secure, and that being the value of the network. People talk about that kind of thing, and I never really understood it until I understood what the hashing was. So when we're talking to our friends and family, I think we're crazy, and we're trying to explain what this is. It really helps to do that, and to help us decide where we want to put our time, effort, money, as far as the security of Bitcoin. It might be in comparison to other cryptos, because this book was written by pretty much a maximalist, I would say.
Ah, okay. So maximalist is somebody who believes that Bitcoin is the one true crypto, and it will lead us all into the future. And I find it very religious, a ridiculous religious viewpoint.
I think it's fair to argue that there will probably be one dominant Bitcoin.
Really? You think so? Worldwide?
Maybe one
Yeah,
dominant.
like Google has 98% search engine market share.
Is it 98 now?
So it's something very high, and then that like U.S.
I thought it was 90, but anyway.
Okay, 90%. 90%. The power law, usually, one or two groups have almost all the market share.
That's probably true. I mean, you got Visa and MasterCard. Those are the two, monster credit card companies out there, but there's still some others.
Plus, economic theory of money would say that it's better for everyone if everyone uses just one.
Sure. Keeps it simple. That's for sure.
I think there will be different cryptos for different uses.
Well, there are already.
Yeah. And I have a lot of ideas about how it might happen, but nobody really knows. And I don't think you don't have to be a maximalist to appreciate that Bitcoin probably is the most secure. But I wanted to actually bring up something I found interesting too. When I learned about what the hash rate was and what it means to security, I thought, okay, do I want to keep anything in some of these small altcoins that I have? And I was thinking maybe not, So I looked up the hash rate in comparison. You can just Google that about finding different hash rates. And I was really pretty surprised by some of them that have a really high hash rate. And one of them is Dogecoin.
Which was a joke currency originally when it first launched.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think we all agree it's pretty popular with those of us that are into this kind of thing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a kind of an insider coin, but it has when I looked anyway, assuming I do understand it right now, it had a very comparable hash rate to Litecoin, and I think even more than Ethereum, if I recall right. And it was really interesting to see that. So,
what we're seeing these days now, at least recently, are some interesting developments by coins like Dash, for instance, that have put in systems. I think Zencash or Horizon is working on it now as well, something to protect against the 51% attack. And that's what the hash rate that you're talking about, having more computers working on and more computing power working on the mining aspect of cryptocurrency ostensibly secures the network better. And they're finding other ways that they can protect their networks. And so this new chain locks that Dash has been touted as a big advancement. And from what it sounds like, we had Joel Valenzuela call in and tell us about this recently, that now that Coinbase has added Dash, they've also made it so that Dash deposits clear in 2 confirmations, whereas you have to wait much longer, many more confirmations apparently, just even to get Bitcoin on there. And what he says is that suggests that Coinbase acknowledged that the chain locks technology is pretty darn good and that they have some confidence in it. So it may not be all about the hash power in the future. And I mean, I'm curious how you feel about this, Stephen. You deal with cryptocurrencies every day behind the scenes as a programmer at Anypay. Do you think that the hash rate's all it's about as far as protecting people's wealth in these cryptos?
Well, I'm thinking about what is the wealth that you're protecting. Like the hash power is protecting the integrity of the Bitcoin blockchain, which is the data in the Bitcoin blockchain is being secured by all of that hashing power. And so that's approximately like 250 gigabytes of information and growing at a predictable
Bitcoin,
rate.
BTC.
Yeah, with all the hash power. But then if you look at, if you can secure other data, more data, that's going to be more valuable to people too.
What do you mean?
Does proof of stake use the same type of is hashing issue?
So hashing is not a thing that you like. The reason why Ethereum doesn't have much investment in hashing is because their security is about voting based on how much money you have.
So stakes.
It's like think a proof of stake. Think of it like a traditional corporate voting, perhaps. Like how many shares in the company do you have? That's how many votes you get.
Yeah, there is something also to be said about the 51% attack that I never understood before. If somebody can pull off a 51% attack, and if they've got enough money, they can rent enough servers to do it on most of the smaller altcoins, from what I understand. That doesn't mean they can just steal your money. If you've got Dash sitting in, or whatever we're talking about, Zen sitting in an account, and somebody does a 51% attack, they can undo some transactions in a block, but they can't reach into your account and take your coin out. Hey, more coming up here. It's Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
With more people listening to radio than visit Google, Facebook, or YouTube, from the very young to the very old, everyone listens to radio. Pillow companies, alarm, identity theft, nutrition, insurance, banking, automotive, the list goes on and on. Billion-dollar businesses. Why? The answer is radio, the media everyone tunes into. Find out how effective and affordable radio can be for your business. Contact 877-996-4327 or advertise at gcnlive.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp, is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want here. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE. In these remaining moments, we have enough time for you. And you can join us on our Discord server as well over at discord.lrn.fm. Ian, Stephen, and Derrick J in the studio. By the way, the Discord server has the new crypto tipping bot. And I don't know what happened. I did a purge of the server like 2 days ago, and I purged out everybody who hasn't used the server in like the last 30 days. Just because every now and then I like to do that just to keep the server clean of accounts that are obviously not interested in being there. So, and I think I purged it down to like 700 active users, and in the last 2 days it's gone up to 1,200 users.
Wow.
So
cool.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that we added this tip bot in there, and now we're like on a list of servers that the tip bot's in. So maybe there's a bunch of people coming into the server hoping they're going to get money from the tip bot, and they might. If you're participating in our chat room, you are much more likely to get tips from people. Not only direct tipping, which has happened to you a few times tonight, Derrick J. So you can tip the hosts that you like, unless they're not on Discord, in which case you can't. But most of our hosts are on Discord. You can see them. They've got a special blue color. And so you can tip the hosts that you like. You can also tip callers that you like. Maybe you enjoyed Pepper's call just a moment ago. You could send him a tip. Or, Gene the Christian Anarchist frequently calls on there. You can send him a tip. Or you can send a tip to everybody who's active in the chat room. So anybody active within the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, you can set all these parameters, and people have been having a lot of fun with it. As I said before, we have no idea who makes this tip bot. It's not one of our listeners. We don't know. So I would say don't put any more money into the tip bot than you can afford to lose, because if they are going to exit scam, then it's a brilliant one, and it's really smart because people have a lot of fun with this tip bot, and it's been fun. So head over to discord.lrn.fm. You can go and interact with other Free Talk Live listeners there 24/7. The Discord server is there around the clock. So we're going to go to the phones, and then I hope we have time to talk about this plan that Anypay's got, because we've been so busy with phone calls tonight. We haven't had much of a chance to even get to any of the things that we wanted to talk about. And one of those things is the latest with what's going on with Anypay. And of course, you guys are the founders of Anypay, and folks can go to helpmettakebitcoin.com, as we mention every night here on Free Talk Live. But let's go to Turd Ferguson first. He is on the line on the Discord server, calling from Pennsylvania. Go ahead.
Actually, hey guys. Actually, I'm calling from Virginia tonight.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm on vacation.
Okay.
And actually, Free Talk Live was the only thing that could get me out of the hot tub on
right
this
on.
vacation.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem. And I was calling in actually to compliment Derrick J. Because I bought on DVD Derrick J's Victimless Crime Spree.
No way.
Yeah, I did. Just a few days. Actually, yeah, just about a week ago.
Oh, cool.
And and I've watched pretty much every corner of the DVD except for the 75 videos, extra activist videos, which I saw 100 times before I moved to New Hampshire a long time ago.
Cool.
Yeah, but dude, it was totally awesome. Okay, so I haven't seen that movie in a really long time. I hadn't watched it in like 5 years, and I feel that, and I feel after having watched it again now that I'm 30 and I'm older and I've been a libertarian for 5 more years, I can really appreciate that much movie so much more now.
Really?
And I gotta say, yeah, really. And it's interesting because, if you go to like a lot of entertainment websites and inquire like what the most popular libertarian movies are of all time, it'll say like Braveheart and stuff like that. But I would say Derrick J's Victimless Crime Spree is probably among the best libertarian films of all time. Certainly the best nonfiction and documentary film.
Gosh, thanks, Turd. I appreciate that.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's well deserved, and yeah, I mean, and I gotta say, for anybody who hasn't seen this movie, I mean, I'm not just buttering Derrick J up. I mean, this is a really good movie. The storyline is really well put together. I mean, I imagine it was probably put together mostly in the editing room. I mean, it's a documentary like most are, but it was just really cleverly done. And Derrick and I always thought this, but that day when you got arrested in the park. And you sang "Give Peace a Chance" to the cops. That was a work of art. It pushed the border so much more than activism. It really bordered on art, and it was just amazing and beautiful. And Derrick, I bow to you.
Wow, thanks a lot, man. Hey,
yeah, no problem.
We're the same age. You said you moved to New Hampshire too. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, I did a long time ago. I don't live there anymore now.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, thanks. What you said makes me feel really good, and I hope that people will watch the movie and, feel happy.
Yeah, I was recommending it on the streets last week. I've been doing Know Your Rights outreach in the college neighborhood for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and we got into a conversation with some of the young, college students about civil disobedience. Somehow it came up, and I'm like, oh yeah, you guys ought to check out Victimless Crime Spree.
That scene that Turd Ferguson is pointing to in the park, there was a really magic moment. There was like some special stars aligned in that moment where I feel like I've relived it many times, and again recently, where I'm thinking, when I ask Jason Short, the cop who's sitting next to me, do you mind if I smoke?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like he was doing me a favor in playing his role.
Really?
Like he played the role like the world is a stage.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just doing the right thing for that moment. He was playing a villain,
right?
But it all worked out very perfectly. I don't know. I feel like it was
Except
nice.
It led to the worst time of your life in jail.
I'm okay now, and everything's all right.
And we have an amazing piece of documentary for people to see and appreciate, and then watch 5 years later and appreciate it in a different way. I think that's kind of cool, seeing that, Turd, you came at it from a different perspective in your life, and that it actually meant more to you watching it 5 years later.
Absolutely, especially after participating in civil disobedience yourself, you're going to look at it in an entirely different light. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got it. Well, several times, but I got arrested. And refused a car search, which led to my arrest later on the way to Guitar Center. Yeah, when I had weed in the car, and that led to a big debacle in New Hampshire when I lived there.
Oh wow!
Oh, I kind of remember that.
I don't know that. Have we met? I don't know your story.
This
is interesting to me.
You called like Cork 411 or
Derrick,
something.
You and I, yeah. Derrick, we met once at Liberty Forum, and I was wearing a Cot Block hoodie, and you were like one of the first ones to like walk over to me and point out my hoodie, and yeah, that was really
cool.
Funny.
Well, we'll hope to see you back in New Hampshire someday. Thank you, Turd, for the comments and the thoughts tonight. Definitely appreciate it. What's going on with Anypay? I mean, obviously you guys are working on helping business owners accept cryptocurrency, and you do an awesome job at that. But I know there's always something you guys are cooking up. Is there anything you can reveal? Is there anything that's coming next? 1,000 merchants or something like that?
In order to get to 1,000 merchants, we have to do it without permission. So we're going to make it so that you can pay over 1,000 businesses in New Hampshire with Bitcoin, even if they don't even know that they have Bitcoin.
Okay, how does this go? Is this like a sneaky workaround thing where it's like, oh, I've got my my BitPay debit card and I'm spending Bitcoin, even though it's actually dollars that the merchant's getting?
You know how when you give someone a Bitcoin tip, like on the paper?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Isn't it great?
CryptoTip.org.
Isn't CryptoTip great?
It is.
And the person gets it, and you don't know if they're going to claim it or not.
No, you don't.
No.
Only time will tell.
Right. Well, it's much easier if we can be able to tip a person or a business like from our phones. So the idea is that every business in New Hampshire that's a retail business, they get a tip jar, Bitcoin tip jar. And now you can leave a tip there in the tip jar, and then it shows up on the map.
The fact that the business got on the Anypay map at anypaymap.com.
That's right.
The fact that they have a tip waiting for them shows up?
Yeah. Yeah. So every business, you can pay them money. You can specify what reason it's for. You can give them tips, and it will be there. And if they want it, they can download the Anypay app and text us, and we will help them redeem their tip.
How will you know it's them and not some hacker who wants to just collect all the tips sitting out there on the map?
It's not that hard to verify someone's the owner of a business. I mean, it's New Hampshire. If they really want to do it, I'll go there.
Okay.
You know, and set
or
them
give
up.
a publicly, a phone number that's publicly listed. You call them back or something.
The idea is that this all becomes public, so people can see where the money's going, who wants to donate to what place. The pieces of paper, I feel like a lot of energy is wasted and lost in those pieces of paper.
Interesting.
But if it can just build up kind of for that business instead of for a person.
So would the idea be that, how would the business become aware that the tip is waiting for them?
Well, every time I go in, if I tip, I'll be like, hey, I noticed there's $28 in that tip from the last few months. Or I noticed that the Dash people came by and they dropped in $15 last night.
So somebody will have to say something, bring it to their attention, like, hey, this is out there waiting for you.
Yeah, well, we're also going to get the phone numbers for all of these businesses.
And call them.
Yeah, it's perfect because it's a perfect qualified lead for a business to call. If someone's left them Bitcoin, they
already have a customer who wants to spend Bitcoin there,
who has spent
They've got
Bitcoin
money
there.
on the table.
They already
Literally.
have spent Bitcoin there.
That's exciting. I know you're going to talk more about it the next time you guys come in, so thanks for coming here. Go to helpmetakebitcoin.com for more of these guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years with experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,532, silver at $18.61, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,551. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, in mid-2019, Hawaii became the 26th state to decriminalize small amounts of marijuana. After the bill became law, Hawaii's governor cautioned that decriminalizing the herb does not mean the state is prepared to legalize recreational use of cannabis. Under the new law, people